anytime I touch mic.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the AGC Sports Heart of the Huntress League semi-finals. Finally here, I cannot believe it. How are you, Dragon?
I'm doing great. I am excited to be back this week and talk about a team I talked about last week as well, with a BBBSSS making it to the semifinals here against Aphrodite Esports Alpha.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, BBBSSS was one of the favorites, to win it all from the very, very beginning. I remember Fansor putting them, I think, either first or second in his pre-tournament tier list. What do you think about them? They have shown themselves to be some of the clear favorites here.
I mean, you can only rate the previous champs so low, and they did get another player this year, so that, technically speaking, should be an upgrade, considering they went from 3 to 4 players. And players already on their team are all very good. It's just a matter of, can the EU team once again win the NA League?
Yeah, and speaking of the EU, in this series, they're not the only EU players. GZ Never Walk Alone is a very, very, very strong Polish player, if I'm not mistaken, that's also in their opponent's team. So EU is a little bit colonizing this semi-finals here. And of course, remember, whoever wins this goes straight to the finals. This is your way to get a ticket for the big prize.
Yeah, and if you lose this game, you're going to get 3rd, 4th, and your season is done, which means you can stop playing standard.
Also, this is the first matches that we see after the very big patch that we just witnessed. What are your thoughts, general thoughts, before we dive into the decks that they have brought?
Oh yeah, this patch is a massive change for standard. A lot of the top decks got hit of quite a bit. There's Squeaker nerf for Jinx. There's Swain nerf. There was some other changes. There's also all 10 of the new cards went straight into standard as well. So those are making a bit of an impact. And another thing is that Eternal ladder opened up, so that means there aren't as many people to playing standard right now. So it's a little bit harder to find stats for standard, I would say. So that all of that combined together, players had to work pretty hard this week to find their lineups, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, you can think everyone is just cooking on Eternal, like tinkering with whatever they can use. And now these players right here, they are forced to play standard. They're forced to find the standard meta to win the tournament. They're playing on a completely different patch, basically, than the others, outside of the changes that were actually made for standard.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what innovations have been made, whether they decide to innovate with completely new decks or like make some adjustments with some of the new cards or removing some of the nerf cards, or just bring the exact same decks they did last time and say, you know what, screw it, this is good enough.
And we see some archetypes, being there. And let's see the first decks from the Broken Balls lineup. What do you think about this Kennen, Seraphine, and Nar, the return of the Barkeep?
Yeah, well, first off, this is the first new deck Broken Ball has, because last week Broken Ball brought Jinx Cannon, and this week he switched. He still has the same region combo with PNZ Vandal, but this time he's playing Bar instead, and I think that's fair because Jinx did get hit pretty hard with the wrench change and the squeaker nerf. And yeah, I think this deck looks pretty solid. We're using the new card Divine Draft. It's one of these 20,000 spells, I swear, guys, trust.
Yeah, we can't even see them all. Like this, of course, this amazing graphic is by Runeterra AR, so we have to thank them too. But so many one-off spells there are that we can't even see the last one. That's insane.
Yeah, there's like 3 Seraphine, 3 Bar, and everything else is unique. There's not a single duplicate, not even for the removal spells like Mystic Shot and High Note, which usually you see is like a 2 of at some point. Even those are just relegated to 1-ofs now.
And if we see the second deck that Broken Ball has brought, like this one is very, very unique, as you mentioned, new deck. Let's see the second one instead, if it's new or it's something that we've already seen. And even though it's nerfed, condense 1 mana more than before, this deck is still strong.
Yeah, I believe this is card for card the exact same list he brought last week for Nora Jin, because he brought Nora Jin, Fizz Samira, and then he brought Jinx Kennen last week. This week he changed to Kennen, Seraphine, Nar, but looks like he's keeping the same here. This deck did get hit by the Condense nerf, going from 2 to 3 mana. That will definitely have a bit of an impact, I would say, in some of the lines that you can take. But other than that line, there's no other changes. This deck didn't receive any other nerfs, so everything else in this deck is the same. Oh, I lied. Broadmane is 4 HP instead of 5.
Yeah, exactly. So a little bit easier to kill. And of course, I really like Desert Naturalist. And now that we have seen also some landmarks get into priority, maybe not as much in standard as in Eternal, of course, but I really like this disruptor for the opponent's mechanics to have in the deck.
Yeah, I also like that we're still playing Riptide Rex, because I've seen some versions of the past that just like cut Riptide Rex to run Naturalist and say that's the win con. I don't really like those, because if you don't draw Rex, sometimes you can just get stalled out on board and then you don't have any way to push through damage. So playing them both is pretty nice. Plus, like, you can use Desert Naturalist to blow up your own Drop the Bomb if your opponent's not playing landmarks, so you can get a little bit of a tempo play there.
Yeah, I mean, those rock bears really hard when they strike. And let's see the third and final deck that Broken Ball decided to bring to the semi-final. And it's Fizz Samira. We've seen in the graphic about the stats before. It's one of the most played deck. I think the second one just behind Aimer Jace. What do you think about this? Is it as strong as ever?
I mean, with everything else getting nerfed around it, it's definitely really strong. Pirouette nerf is not as impactful as in some of the other Pirouette decks, because this deck can usually trigger Plunder pretty consistently. I would say you're still going to feel it a little bit. Like there's some, like when Pirouette is your Plunder enabler, that 1 extra mana could definitely have an impact. But generally speaking, this deck, at least this version of the deck, is one of the least impacted by the nerfs, I would say.
Yeah, of course, this is a full monkey version. We see 3 copies of Powder Pandemonium, 2 copies of Monkey Business. This version absolutely wants to destroy you going face.
And I mean, that's exactly what Broken Ball did last week on this deck. He was like killing people on turn 4 with this deck. Have to see if he's still able to repeat that success here, especially now that we're up against new opponents with Aphrodite Esports here.
Yeah, and speaking of Aphrodite Esports first lineup, like, let's check it out, because it has some spice. if we can say that. And we immediately start with Jace Hammerdinger, maybe the spicy deck that we will see tonight from Aphrodite Esports, of course, really standard. What do you think about this?
I mean, hey, you know, Heimer Jace, I don't think got a single nerf last patch. So just for that reason alone, it's rising up in value because, you know, it was already a good deck and it wasn't knocked down a peg. So it's going to thrive. And, you know, it's playing a lot of good cards. Epic Scrap Traption, one of the cards from the last expansion, is just a really good, gives you a really big unit early on. You're playing triple Forge Chief instead, and only one Adaptatron is a bit interesting for the ratios. Usually it's 2-2. So interesting that Forge Chief is our 3F, but I guess like we really value blocking early. And to be fair, Broken Ball does have some pretty low to the ground decks. So I'll have to see if that one pays off.
Yeah,
Also,
I mean, we'll need the mana, right? Especially against a lineup like Broken Balls. Like we need the mana. We need cheaper ones. I think this one spell mana reiterated over and over again. If we can block, if we trade, if we can attack, maybe even sneak in and open and get a hit for free, like that +1 mana might be huge.
yeah, especially like you play Forge Chief and get a strike with it, you get to essentially play it for free and still play your 6-cost spell on 3 if you want to do that. So I think it could be pretty impactful. Some of the other ratios are a little interesting. We're playing 2 Piercing Darkness and 2 Vengeance instead of like the usual 3 Vengeance, 1 Darkness. Obviously,
I think they need the HP, and
yeah.
I can't blame them.
Yeah. Interesting, we're not playing the newly buffed Dawning Shadows at all. That one seems like it's very good, but you know, if you really need a card that's over 6 mana, you just get it off Reggie.
Yeah, and speaking of the second deck that GZ Never Walk Alone wanted to play, and it's Echo Jinx. And to think this deck would have been played against Broken Ball, that was one of, I think, the strongest player at this same archetype. What do you think about this? I find it really, really cool every time I see it, but it can also be pretty toxic. It's very, very powerful.
I mean, this deck can either blow you out on turn 4 and just like have like an Echo level on turn 4 into a Chrono Break and you're getting rolled, or it does like nothing and just rolls over and dies because you drew all of your 4-drops and drop borders. It's like, I would say you're more likely to just roll your opponent than get rolled yourself, especially since you have so many predicts. You're very good at controlling what you draw, so you can usually find your champion you're looking for, unless your Echo decides he wants to play hide and seek with you that day. But still, I mean, this deck is pretty strong. It also was not affected by any of the balance changes, so by default it rises up because it didn't get any worse while the decks around it did. So yeah, I think this makes sense to see this deck come out.
Yeah, nothing to say about this. Let's see the last deck that GZ Never Walk Alone brought to the table, and it is Vayne Atrox. I mean, pretty standard list. Is there anything like really, really interesting or?
Yes, there is. There is a judgment in this deck, which is very spicy. Also, we're not playing Quinn. We are instead playing all 3 copies of Aatrox, which is another thing that we don't see all the time. Also, we're not even playing a single 3 of any of our spells. Like Fish Fight and Form Up are, I think, usually 3-ofs for this list, but Fish Fight did get nerfed to 3 mana, which definitely hurts that a little bit for the interaction point, because now you can't just like have that available as often. For weapons, we're playing a single copy of Darkened Fan, which gives us a little bit more healing outside of Aatrox, so we'll have to see if that matters. Triple Spear, Triple Harp, I think everything else looks pretty standard, honestly.
Yeah, pretty standard. I mean, I always think this deck is pretty solid. You know, the Massia plus weapons is a very good combo, especially with the effects that combo really well, like the Ranger Knight Defector and big stats with the Badge Beer. This deck can definitely be a stat stick, difficult to overcome by the Monkey deck, you know, the Samira. Samira doesn't find immediate super good start and turbo roll his opponent.
Yeah, for sure. Also, that one of Judgment can just completely stop like a monkey attack, for example, especially if like you do it with Aatrox, so you just heal off of all the monkeys dying. So yeah, we'll have to see if that's gonna come up at all.
Also, it immediately levels Aatrox, basically. Like, it's something that if you don't have Aatrox leveled up, after the judgment, is gonna be 100%.
Yeah, it's like -6 cost, and your opponent's board will also most likely be dead, so I don't think it really matters that much.
I mean, we see here the predictions, of course. Apparently, everyone and their mother predicted BBBSSS to win this series. I am the odd man out. I said I would have predicted BBBSSS, but if Broken Bull loses the first game, that's not gonna be pretty for me. So I just go with Aphrodite and hope nothing really outrageous happens. Let's go Aphrodite's. Let's try to bring this home.
And yeah, I mean, I voted for BBBSSS because they did win last week, and they seem to have brought really good decks this week. They're playing Baja over Sari. That's one of the other changes that they've made, and I think their team is really solid, and I don't want to bet against them, so I'm just going to go with them this time. But hey, you know, if Aphrodite wants to prove me wrong, go right ahead. And it looks like we're getting into the bans. So what do you think Never Walk Alone should ban here?
Ooh, that's interesting, because we see, of course, we already talked about Mira being super powerful in the early game, but on the other hand, we've seen GZ Never Walk Alone teching, quote unquote, like as you mentioned, the 3 copies of the 4 Chief and the mass healing potentially from the Vayne Aatrox. So he teched for some aggro matchup, so I don't think that's gonna be the ban. I fear like he could ban Jhin Nora just because you don't want to deal with Broadmain with your decks. But on the other end, Seraphine and Barkeep is super annoying. What do you think?
Yeah, I could see the Seraphine needing the ban because like they have a lot of cards in their deck that are really annoying to deal with like that. They were playing Mini Morph, they were playing some other stuns, and like Big Cat is really hard for Aatrox to beat if it gets played, stuff like that. So I can understand that getting a ban.
Yeah, on the other end, what do you think BBBSSS are gonna ban? Because we see a pretty decent lineup from the side of Aphrodite. Maybe not what we would have expected, but what would be your ideal ban if you are Broken Bull here?
All right, I'm hoping I remember my matchups correctly, but I believe Echo Jinx was pretty favored into Fizz Samira. Am I correct in that, Zero?
I would have to check the stats, but as you mentioned, I don't know about this last patch with the nerf to the pirouette. We would have to check again, because of course that might have impacted some lines. Probably before the nerf it already was kind of favored, so if it's favored before, I think it should lean a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stats. Echo Jinx is pretty favored into Fizz Samira. I would suspect that Fizz Samira is to be left up. Echo Jinx also is pretty aggressive, and that could be annoying for like that could be kind of annoying for the Vandal decks, because a Chrono Break is really hard for them to beat if they go like remove the board and then there's like a Chrono Break. It's really annoying, and it's also Deny as well. Some other things. I think they're perfectly fine with Aatrox. I think that's kind of what they are for the course. So I guess it's a matter of, do they suspect Jace Heimer with this extra healing and extra 1-drops is going to be enough of a problem that they want to ban that instead? Or do they want to just take out the Jinx Echo, because that's one of the decks that can like put on the same amount of tempo as Fizz Samira early game and potentially a lot more in the mid game?
Yeah, and of course we kept saying they, but of course this is a player versus player scenario. So it's not team anymore, it's player versus the other player. But if you look at GZ Never Walk Alone lineup, like every deck is tough to beat potentially. Like yes, Broken Ball has ways to beat them, but every deck is tough to beat. So even if you think, okay, I ban Jinx Echo because I can afford to lose to Jace Heimer, then I would have to win 2 times against this Aatrox Vayne, and it's not gonna be easy.
No, for sure. Yeah, like Walk Alone has 3 really good decks that have been proven successful, and none of the decks he's playing were majorly nerfed. I would say like Aatrox Vayne got a little bit of a nerf with the fish fight to 3 mana. That definitely matters, but that's really the only change that impacts that deck. So I'll have to see if that ends up mattering.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of similar to the change that, for example, Jin Nora had, because it's always like one spell going one more mana, so you're gonna have to be a little bit more careful on how you spend your resources now. For both decks, but of course, if you are Jin Nora, then it becomes increasingly difficult because you have to be responsive. You have to be the one playing from the back, and so having enough mana to save and answer everything, especially against Aatrox, can be very difficult.
Yeah, and also the condensed I think is pretty big, because now it's a lot harder to bank and save to be able to play condense. If you want to, like, for example, like you want to play your Rex on turn 8 and you want to condense it, they're going to remove it. You have to have be fully banked instead of having 2 mana banked. And another thing is, like, if you want to like copy a unit and play it on like turn 2, for example, you can't just copy and play their unit, their 2-drop. So there's like some interactions there that I think condense is a lot more impactful than the fish fight nerf. I think fish fight, you're generally not trying to use as proactively as condense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that in that scenario, I think the condense nerf's gonna hurt more. But I think still overall, like, it's not gonna be that impactful. Also, sad, we only get to see one new card from all these decks here, and it's like the boring P&Z spell one.
Yeah, that's pretty that's pretty much of a letdown. But I think other players in the semifinals have experimented a little bit more. Maybe we'll get to see more from them tonight. But since we have a lot of time, a little bit of time, we are waiting on Rumble bans, as far as I know. We have a little bit 1 second to thank the sponsors of the Aegis Art of the Huntress League, because it is partly brought to you by Community Gaming. Community Gaming is an online platform that helps supercharge events of all levels, from community grassroots to tier 1 professional events. Experience it for yourself, start playing and earning at communitygaming.io today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Community Gaming, for sponsoring us this season.
Exactly. But speaking again of these best of 3, and more in general of these semifinals, you told to me that if Broken Ball loses here, there is a very big chance for Aphrodite Esports Alpha to win the series. Like, why do you think that? Have you seen the other decks from BBBSSS?
Yes, I have, and I just think that Broken Ball is a very strong map to start with, and I don't know how the matchups are going to go with Baja and Simon into this. But, you know, Broken Ball did kind of 3-0 last week, so if he falls, can someone else pick up the mantle of being able to sweep him out, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I really like the strategies that we could see, and we can see, and we have seen in past weeks of the playoffs, because of course when one player can destroy completely, can sweep another team, and can trio, like even the first one can be major powerhouse. Like, Broken Ball is one of the strongest players in Europe, especially at the tournament level, and of course GZ Never Walk Alone is very, very, very strong player himself, and both teams put to the forefront they're one of the best players. So it's gonna be very interesting. Like, either one of them loses, that's gonna be a major loss for their team going forward tonight.
And yeah. Oh, and we have the band straight up on screen. Broken Balls opted to ban Aatrox Vayne, and Walk Alone is banned Broken Balls Seraphine Kennen Gnar. So no bar today. So we'll have to keep the drinks at home as we get ready to dive in to see who's gonna pick what deck first. What do you think is gonna be picked for Broken Ball first?
I mean, we always talk about this. I really like to bring this up, but everyone tells me that doesn't matter. I still think the psychological edge is a thing and can happen. So I think I would start with Fizz Samira, completely destroy my opponent, and go next.
All right, yeah, and for Walk Alone, I think you probably start with Echo Jinx. I think that can, for like a very similar reason, that can be quite explosive and hard to answer. And I think it's pretty solid into both of the decks that we're seeing here. So we'll have to see what each of the players end up deciding, as we should be getting into game pretty soon. I am excited. We have the first match underway between BBBSSS, and Aphrodite Esports Alpha.
I'm gonna call them break balls from now on because I don't have the energy to say the full name every time.
Don't worry, I'm just gonna mispronounce it every time. That's the plan. You have to figure out if I'm adding one too many B's, S's, or not enough.
That's what they wanted. Like, I have this conspiracy theory that says, okay, that's what they wanted because they want to win again, okay? And they want to win again, so when someone announces winner, they say the wrong name. Okay, that's the whole plan that's been going on for 2 months now.
True, I would not put it past them to do something like that.
yeah, definitely. And of course, as I said, no, you pick the aggro deck to immediately dismantle your opponent. It's also like a tactical thing because if you think, okay, I'm gonna keep their entire team, and that has to be something in the back of the head of both of these players because they're so strong. They know they can do that.
Yeah,
you don't want to immediately start with an exhausting deck. You don't want to start with the exhausting matchup thinking about like 1,000 lines. You start with the aggro, both sides, like fair game. We start both aggressive. We don't have to think a lot about the plays. It just, warm up.
Yeah, no, you just play your curve. You just play your 1, 2, 3, 4 curve, and then your opponent either has their Nexus explode or has your board explode. It's
Gentleman agreement. Gentleman agreement.
Yeah. Also, I will say, Echo Jinx, looking over the stats again from last patch, looks like a much better starting deck, but we're going to be starting with Heimer Jace on the side of Walk Alone and Nora Jin on the side. Yeah, as you can see, guys, we're professionals at predicting. We obviously just predicted the wrong deck on purpose because we were actually doing reverse psychology. Yeah,
it's like 25% of the chances to miss both.
Yeah,
we nailed it.
Yeah, and what do you think of these hands so far? I mean, Broken Ball has his win con in his hand with Rex, and he doesn't have anything to do before turn 4. Which I think the Heimer player really likes that. Oh wait, never mind. He just actually drew an insanely good card there with the Nora.
Yeah, there is an answer on the side of GZ Never Walk. Like you already know that Nora is never striking, but at least you're using some mana. You want to use their mana.
I mean, hey, if you're playing this Nora and your opponent's not playing a 6-cost spell, you're pretty happy. Oh, honestly, I think Walk Alone kind of wants to just like let this Nora hit his face and then play a 6/6. I honestly wouldn't hate that.
Yeah, me neither, honestly. Like this Nora can hit once. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and we can just shoot it next turn. We'll have to see what the decision here is.
Yeah. I mean,
and we're going to go for the 6-mana scrap traption play here. I forgot if Broken Ball is playing a whatever it's called. He is not. He is not playing the 4-mana Bandle Deny. He is a good player though.
Man,
he can block too. Oh, we got a brash blocker too. Wow, what a good player Broken Ball is, man.
Yeah, Broken Ball clearly built different as a player.
Yeah. I think he does not appreciate seeing this 4/3 staring him down as well. Especially now that there's gonna be a Quietus probably coming out in this Nora as well. Probably post combat. You don't ever expect your opponent to block with Nora.
Yeah, I mean that could have been an option, just because you know that Nora is gonna die anyway. But why wouldn't you trade? Like, get rid of that extra handler as soon as possible before another one can buff him, again.
Yeah, you mean the other one in hand?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking about. Of course, Broken Ball doesn't have access to that amount of information, but
yeah,
he's a good enough player to know. I mean, my opponent's playing 3 of them, and it's just drawn both, like all of them. So clearly, GZ Never Will Come build different.
I mean, Walk Alone has an insane hand here, though. Like, he can just slam a handler and still kill the Nora if it comes out this turn.
No way.
And I see no reason for Walk Alone to not just slam second handler here. Like, you're threatening 13 damage on open next turn, which is way more than Broken Ball wants to deal with.
Exactly. Broken Ball at this point might be forced to just deploy the Jhin. Just to have a unit, just to have the stun mechanic potentially ready to go.
true. I don't think Broken Ball's played a single spell yet this game, if I'm correct.
No, but he has ways to proc the stun next turn. Even if he plays, I mean, he has a stun because of course he has the BAM, the wall up.
I guess what we could do is we could see Pie Toss, then the second half of Pie Toss Perilous Pastry.
Yeah,
and then we would be able to double stun, but now, I mean, we do just have the wallop in hand. I expect we're probably going to see a wallop into a broad main.
Oh, we have another brush blocker. Okay, that's Broken Ball's clearly built different.
Yeah, I mean, now I suspect we'll probably see a handler development because now we don't have a good attack. And also, it means that we don't trade with Jin anymore, which is pretty annoying. Yeah, also, the rest of the game, any tech unit we play is 4 HP. That's really fun, right?
Yeah, especially if we find an Heimerdinger, that's gonna be awful for Broken Ball to deal with. Of course, now first Broadmain comes down, but now Broadmain is under the kill range of Mystic Shot plus the I-Knot.
I mean, we could do that, or we could just spend 1 card and Soul Harvest it.
Exactly.
And if he plays Soul Harvest, he's kind of forced to play the Pie Toss in his hand, I would say. Either that, as I don't really think he wants to wallop this 9/9 here. Oh, or he's looking to kill Broadmain now while he's on the stack, so he can't actually kill it. I like this line, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about before. You don't want Broadmain to have enabled the ping potential.
Yeah, because now Broken Ball would have to have double ping, exactly. And Broken Ball does not have the ability to do double ping here. So now this 9/7 can't be killed really. Jin doesn't trade with. There's no trades here that Broken Ball can get. And I'm kind of forced to have this Jin live because he needs a way to proc Wonder for this Rex in 2 turns.
Mm-hmm. Also,
the Quietest Draw is so good here. So it gives you a nice answer to Nora while still being able to play Albus Pharos.
Yeah, second Jin comes up, the Kelpie giving us potentially pranks.
Yep. All right, there's the Shadow in the brush. I suspect we're probably going to see that get Soul Harvested, or not Quietest, I mean.
Quietest, yeah. If that gets Quietest though, that opens up the possibility of us playing Nora. Of course, then Soul Harvest is gonna be played by GZ Never Walk Alone, but it would only remain with 2 cards in. And yes,
I mean, honestly, if you see the Nora, you might just play Albus, because that's 4 damage at his face, and he just, like, kind of dies.
Yeah, that's true. Albus Pharos is very underestimated.
We're going after not the bush here. Okay.
The prank printer is gonna be targeted here. We don't like elusives, we don't like pranks. This is not a prank, bro. It's not your day, and it's gonna get killed now.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't want his hand getting pranked. I still would go after the bush here, in my opinion, because I think now if you play Albus, they can use the bush to deny the skill. Oh, I don't see a reason to not just play Albus here.
Yeah, I know.
Make sure your Jace isn't flipped. Yeah, no. Now, also, I'm pretty sure Broken Ball is not allowed to play Rex next turn.
No, unless the portal gives him something here.
Yeah, he needs a unit with the ability to block the 9/6.
Let's see what is offered to him.
He's thinking of playing Pie Toss. He's thinking of doing this because he wants to be able to trigger the stun next turn.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense on his part. Let's see if the portal is triggered this turn or not.
Oh, Piercing Darkness is pretty nice. That's gonna help us after this Rex goes off. I mean, I suspect we're gonna see now is probably 3-mana card. Yeah, this Avenging Vestaya into stun. on the 9-6 and then block, probably leave Jin alive. Oh, we're not gonna block the 9-6. We're gonna, but we're not gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna keep the Jin alive. We're gonna keep the Jin alive.
Yeah, we're gonna keep the Jin alive. We're not going to wall up the 9-6. That makes, you know what? I guess this makes sense. Also, putting the damage on Ferals means he dies at 2 Rex shots. Next turn is almost guaranteed going to be Perilous Pastry Nexus into Rex.
Let's see what's gonna happen here. This is a very cool line from Broken Bull. Not dying this turn, of course. Staying at 8 HP, pretty healthy.
Yep. Yeah, I don't mind this from Walk Alone though. Just by killing off the Jin here, it does also mean that potentially they wouldn't be able to fill the stack, but we see the second Jin in hand, so we know that they're still gonna do that. He's probably gonna opt to not play anything so he can keep stuff in his hand. Also, this means that Jace gets to come down leveled next turn. So even if, so they kind of are forced to have, so Broken Bell's kind of forced to play Rex here. As he just like passes, he's gonna lose his entire board. You know, I don't mind playing a 2-1 here because I'm perfectly fine if that eats like 3 shots from this Rex.
Yeah, definitely.
Broken Ball did just build a board though.
Yeah, the board is being built.
Yep.
Of course, now Rex is gonna come down, and it's all gonna come down to how many units can Rex kill here.
Yep. And if Rex can't kill Albus, I think the game is just over. Oh, why are we playing Jace right now? Ooh. I mean, I guess you're really spreading out what can get hit here. It's really hard for Rex to hit the 2 things the same way. So
target 1.
Albus lives. All right, Albus lived. The Brash unit lived. I mean, this is all right. This is insane for Walk Alone now. Wait, we can just play the Jace's Hextech Gate right now, and Albus is lethal on the open next turn.
Is it lethal?
Yeah, because Albus is at Albus is at 5 right now. He would go to 7.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, we can also just murder 2 units right now, and then Broken Ball's left with, yeah.
Let's see what the GZ never will call ups to do, because of course we know Broken Bull has got the Lightning Rush, can get rid of 1 unit on GZ never will call board on next stack, so open attack wouldn't be lethal.
Yeah, the open attack. I mean, I think. Yeah, so we can kill 1 thing here. I'm gonna assume we're probably gonna see this in high note, clear the blockers. Don't know how many portals are left in Broken Ball's deck. I'd assume that those 2 units
0.
he got were the last ones. Yeah. And then yeah, we just like kill both the blockers and then drag with Jace.
I don't think there is a way Broken Bull survives next turn, but
I think there's no way he survives if there's an open attack. If there's a development, he can. Oh, he's not even going to find out. Wow. Just takes it and he goes down. And now it's Echo Jinx against these decks. Echo Jinx had a favorable matchup into both of these decks last patch. And both Jin Nora and Fismira are slightly weaker with the Condense and Pirouette nerfs. So Echo Jinx looks like to be pretty well positioned to have the ability to take at least 1 game here. We'll have to see if Simon can pull it off, or not Simon, if Broken Ball can pull it off.
Yeah, exactly. That remains to be seen. Of course, we saw Broken Ball not even wanting, for the top deck. There's nothing that can save him.
To be fair, looking at Broken Ball's list, he only plays 1 wallop, and like Pie Toss and Group Shot aren't going to be enough off the top. Yeah. So realistically speaking, there was not an out to the open attack lethal next turn.
Yeah, just save mental health, just save mental energy, just go next. So you don't even care.
Yeah, and we're gonna go Echo Jinx.
This is a much better end for Broken Bull this time around. Yeah, very focused, and it's gonna withstand a lot of damage.
Yeah, a double junk construct is amazing against a more aggressive deck like this. I will say, I think Walkalon probably doesn't want to keep that drop border in his hand. You know, every drop border in hand makes an Echo player cry, as they say.
Yeah, I remember it pretty vividly. I was super big on Action Infinite, and I was playing one copy of Echo, you know, 3x1 Echo, and I also had drop borders to stabilize. And if I had drop border in hand, feels bad, man. Not worth it.
Yep, we're gonna keep Echo and mulligan the rest. Only finds 1 or 2 predicts. Well, we see the nerf condense in Broken Ball's hand here. Oh, and he finds the drop border he put back. Look at that. Already off to a good start. 3 damage turn 1. Gets to play another 2-3 next turn. Maybe he even gets a drop border to go with it. We'll have to see.
I mean, another drop border would be kind of insane, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna see the Nora come down here. Assuming we're probably gonna see Spiring Chronomancer. Also, we do have the Echo flipped on turn 4 if we want it.
I think we could get Voice of the Reason here just because Echo is already flipped. We don't need Clockling, even though having 1 discounted unit or card anyway, it's always good. But having already Echo online, Voice of the Reason is a super good draw here, potentially.
Yeah, like it could be Voice of the Risen. It could also be Mystic Shot if we were saying, okay, we don't want this Nora to get 2 hits in and start snowballing that way. So, also we play Voice of the Risen on 5. We can't bank for Echo. So, I'll have to see what he winds up choosing here.
First Nora hit, portals are in the deck for Broken Bull. Let's see if his luck smiles to him. No portals.
He does not get it. I guess the question now is, do we see the 1 drop? Do we see Time Trick into attack? Do we see Mystic Shot into attack? We'll have to... Quite a few options here for Walk Alone.
Exactly.
Probably just playing his
development is met by the construct.
Yeah, so I think developing because of that is bad. We'll have to see. Here's another drop border. It's fine. Oh, Feral Prescience is really good here. Let's just play the 2 drop and still level Echo. I think we like doing that. I suspect we'll probably see a Nora die here to Mystic Shot, and then we attack.
Yeah, makes sense. Would let 1 more damage get in.
Yeah, because Nora could block the drop border pretty freely. And yep. And also they can't respond by playing another Nora this turn. We will be a bit sad that they're going to get a portal shuffled into their deck, because that's more units that can come down and clog the board, which we do not like. But I don't know there's much we can really do about that.
Of course, Broken Bull already put down at 12 HPs. This is, of course, the GZ Never Clone is clearly the beatdown. Yep. Is the one that needs to get ahead. And Broken Bull, wait, this is a pretty good unit. You get a unit with quick attack. It's a 2-2. So if you attack now, you can even bait the block from the 2-3. Puts Puff Cups in the deck that are always, you know, annoying for GZ Never Alone, especially since he draws much.
Yeah. And we'll have to see if Walkalon wants to drop the Echo here. One good thing about this Time Trick in hand is we could use that to have a second chance of finding the whatever it's called. Using it to find the Chrono Break. Yeah, we can use another chance to find Chrono Break next turn. I suspect Walkalon probably is just gonna say, cool dude, you get to deal your 4 damage to me. Or 6 damage to me, and probably won't block.
You know, there's not much to block. Like, you could block with the drop border, the 2-2, or even the Jin, because you don't really care about the border, and it's not a unit that you really want, you know, back from the Chrono Break. But you don't have anything else put on the board, so why not? Why not keep it?
Not great hits here from this Predicts. I don't think you really need the 3rd Echo in your hand.
Wait, is it going for the greedy line of blocking with Echo? I don't never think so.
I mean, honestly, we have 2nd Echo in hand. Although I really don't like blocking with Echo here if he wants to go for that, but he's going to.
Okay, at least it's not the super greedy line. It's just, okay, I block with Echo, the Jin, it's fine, it's a trade champion, I can take it. This is
I mean,
fine.
the trade champion for champion, and we're drawing, and we get to time trick. Although, if we do actually use the time trick, it means we're not gonna be guaranteed draw the Echo on top of our deck. But we're still, I mean, still drawing a card quite good. Oh, Jinx.
Of course, also this was when Echo burned forever because we are never gonna bring this one back with Chrono Break since we didn't have 3+ mana to work with. So this one Echo is gone, and of course we see that in Broken Bull's hands that Broadwing is gonna come down on turn 6. Ready to smash any champion on the board. Second portal is gonna be drawn pretty good.
The bomb is huge here because it gives you the ability to kill this Echo right now. So this Echo will not be able to hit face, and
also you have a 3 attack unit. Also you have a 3 attack unit. That means that it can trade pretty well with the Chronomancer, which is not something that you know not like. That's very good actually. Chronomancer is very annoying when you have a Voice of the Reason on the
and like this is really good for Broken Ball, I would say. We're cleaning up the board. There's just a drop order in play. We're at 11 still. We ignore the fact that this Jinx cannot flip next turn.
Yeah, GZ never can stabilize. I mean, Jinx could flip.
Jinx can flip soon. She cannot flip next turn. So that means you can just what Broken Ball can do here is just swing with his 2/2 and then pass. Drop order off the top is not what you want to see here if you're walk alone.
It's really not. Construct comes down from the side of Broken Ball. Of course, that construct is
he likes seeing that drop order.
Yeah, but now the opponent of a construct that is another wall. It means that another portal is gonna come down. Now Broadmain is free to get on the board and start killing stuff. We have a ping, so that's already an enabler. We have second Broadmain the next turn. This is not good for.
Also importantly, that drop the bomb from earlier gave us the Scrappy Bomb that will go off on turn 8 immediately, which means that we will be able to Rex immediately on turn 8 without any other cards committed. However, this is a problem for Broken Ball. He does not actually have a way to stop this Voice of the Risen here.
Yeah, it's gonna need another slow action. Of course, this never this. So yeah, this Voice of the Risen is gonna die, but the attack is gonna come in.
I mean, this is pushing 6 damage, almost guaranteed. But at least as we know, his attack is pushing 6 damage. Walk alone might not. He might suspect his Voice of the Risen is going to die for the cause here, but he doesn't know it's going to die for the cause. It's going to get blocked by this 2/2, and now you're super happy because you literally have lethal in hand if you can set it up. Yeah, I was gonna say, because you have the Jinx and Mystic Shot in hand. If you can set up the Jinx to flip when she comes down, you can play the Rocket, and that will finish Broken Ball off.
Broken Ball is playing with his life here on the line. Yeah, this is the lifeline. He's already down 1 game. You can't afford to lose this one.
Let's say I'm walk alone here. I'm looking to try. And we got Chrono Break. Actually, he's just dead right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we might not be getting an Echo back, but I think getting back this Voice of the Risen might just be good enough.
It actually is gonna be good enough. There is nothing left to do for Broken Ball here. The Chrono Break comes down on the perfect turn, and Broken Ball just surrenders, and it's 1-0 for Aphrodite Esports Alpha. Just like this too. Destroyed completely.
Yeah, I mean, gets the right card at the right time there. Like, sure, he lost both of his Echoes, but Voice of the Risen came in a really timely fashion, just pumped up the damage. Broken Ball did not have the second ping to kill it before combat, and just took too much damage. He couldn't survive.
Yeah, and as we mentioned before, this matchup was very, very tough for Broken Bull. Like, all 3 decks from the side of GZ Never Walk Alone pretty good against his lineup. They're very solid, and he wouldn't have been comfortable getting twice against any of those. So Definitely, I didn't expect it to all coming into this best of 3 specifically, but it was something that could happen, and both of these players are so good that if they get the right cards, they can definitely make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna have to see who next from BBBSSS will step up to the plate and try to redeem what happened to Broken Ball there. But yeah, Walk Alone off to a strong start there, and Aphrodite Esports takes the advantage here after the first game.
Mm-hmm. To be okay, so I was wondering the same thing from the broadcasting team. That they tell me that we are going into a small break before we come back with the second series of tonight of BBBSSS against Aphrodite Esports. See you soon.
And we'll let you know who's playing.
back for the second match of tonight's semifinals, and it's gonna be Ulti Simon for break balls against GZ Never Walk Alone that we have just seen win against Broken. What do you think about the match that we're gonna see?
I think it's interesting they're going with Simon here because Simon is a very similar lineup to Broken Ball, and Broken Ball was not that favored into some matchups like Echo Jinx and the Aatrox Vayne. So I was wondering if they might want to bring in Bodge, because Bodge has a lot more different decks to try and play into that. But looks like they think Simon can get it done where Broken Ball couldn't. So we'll have to see. This Fistamir deck is, I believe, card for card the same list that Broken Ball is running.
Yeah, yep, most likely. I think it is, yeah. So not much to say about it. We've already said rough against GZ Never Walk Alone's lineup. The one deck that's different, it's actually the second deck that Simon brought. That is, I think, the Mono Echo, if we can see that one. Because I think that's where the matchup can actually swing.
So this Echo... So he's playing Mono Echo, and his Echo is a bit different than the one we just saw from Walk Alone. First off, he's not playing a second champion. Instead, he's opting to play triple Heedless Resurrection as a way to revive the Echo. Yeah, so he has a lot of Echoes in his deck, and he can have a very decent chance to get double Echo. He's also playing Piltover Castaway, mainly because that can help trigger Heedless Resurrection's cost reduction. And it's not a bad unit, too. It's a solid 3-drop that you play on curve. So you have that.
Yeah, just gives you a weapon for free. As nice stat line, especially if you get him, tough on him or some big stats.
Yeah, but to make room for like these other new cards, we're playing only one Rite of Negation, and we're playing one less Clockling. So he's got less 4-drops in the deck. So have to see how that's gonna turn out. He still has the main core intact, which is like Echo and all the predicts and the triple Voice of the Risen. So interesting to see how that will turn out. And then the final deck is Nora Jhin.
I think this is
different. This is different. We're not playing any Desert Naturalist here. Instead, we're opting for triple Portal Scholar. I didn't see Desert Naturalist at all in the last two matches. I don't think it really mattered that at all. So have to see if Portal Scholar is going to make things a little better, because I mean, there's not playing any landmarks in this deck, so.
And yeah, lands.
Yeah, I suspect that Walk Alone will probably just ban the Echo and play into the same two decks that they played into last time, because it worked well for them last time. And
Salty Simon will probably ban the same deck. Like if you're Salty Simon and you have, prepared with Broken Bull and you actually agree on the pick and bans, that should be exactly the same ban goes on the Aatrox Vayne, and then you play the exact same two matchups.
All right, are you ready to see the exact same decks as we did last round? Except, hey, we got two different cards in Nora Jhin, although they are two of the cards that were already in the deck. So
can we say this is a salty run back? Like the BBBSSS breakables just wanted to say no, that was a fluke. We know we're better. We know we have prepared better. We are gonna win with the exact same lineups.
Whoa, what is this we stuff you're talking about? Simon's saying, whoa, I'm better than Broken Ball. Let me show you him how it's done.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's always the competitive nature between the team and inside the team. So I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. Well, let's see if Simon can succeed where Broken Ball fell a little short. I suspect that he will actually play Fistamir. I think he doesn't want to run back Nora Jhin if he was watching the last games. He wants to try and
see the one deck that we haven't seen last series. I don't want to see the exact same Jhin Nora against X again. Yeah. It's been really sad, like especially the second game looked really good with that starting end, but then of course GZ Never started taking advantage of his decks, taking advantage of course the predicts, the Echo, getting advantage of course at the end the Chrono Break to just win the game.
Yeah, I would honestly say he was doing a pretty good job at dealing with what Walk Alone was doing. It's just that Walk Alone top-decked the 4-drop, he top-decked the Voice of the Risen, and then he got a Chrono Break, and that was just too much pressure for him to deal with. They just didn't have any answers left after killing with the Echoes.
Yeah, they have dealt two echoes out of 3, but that wasn't enough because the real champion of the deck, Voice of the Reason, was there to win after being resurrected.
The Echo was their share to make sure the real champion wasn't removed.
Exactly, the real champion shines while Echo dies.
Yep.
But speaking about this Fizz Samira, what do you think you should are you looking forward in the starting end? Like, what's the dream starting end for this Fizz?
I would say it's probably a stylish shot. First off, I would say the dream hand is that you first off don't have token on 1. I think you actually want token on 2 with this deck, because then you can go like stylish shot double 1-drop, and then you're pretty happy. But I think like you want elegant. Depends on what the deck is. I think Butcher, you probably just want Butcher, actually, just generally speaking, because Butcher dodges a lot of the removal from Heimer Jace, and Echo Jinx doesn't have a good answer for it. Elegant Edge is also really solid. Fizz is really annoying for Heimer Jace. Not so much for Echo Jinx, because you have the Quicksands and the Scrying Sands, so not actually terrible there.
In theory, you know, that's a blocker that trades perfectly with Fizz.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's pretty matchup dependent. It's like Powder Pandemonium is a lot better against Heimer Jace than it is against Echo Jinx, because Echo Jinx is playing 2 deny, so not as reliable there. And they're probably going to want to save that deny for either a pirouette that would kill them or that. But you know what? It doesn't matter what we were just talking about, because it's the same matchup we started with last time, which is Heimer Jace into Jhin Nora.
You see that they're teammates. You see that, okay, of course, Jizina Workalon is the same player, same person, went well the first time. He had no reason to change, let's be honest. But so did Simon. He said, okay, I'm gonna win this matchup. I'm gonna show how it's done. As you mentioned.
Oh, and a turn 1 Forge Chief is really nice here for Walk Alone. If he wants to play it, he actually might opt to not play it because he really wants to make sure he can play a turn 3 Scrap Traption. Yep, that's what he's doing. As a matter of fact, he kicked a high note earlier as well. Oh, but you know what we could see? We could see the Avenging Vistaya come out here as the bush. But we will not. So this Scrap Traption is gonna come. Yeah, I mean, I suspect Walk Alone's just gonna once again say, you know what, dude, you can hit me with this Nora. I'm gonna play a 6/6 with Brash. Have fun playing the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's just gonna go Scrap Traption into Handler into Forge Chief probably. It's or even Quietus.
When hit by Nora is not a big deal. Nora is never leveling up against Jizina Workalon's deck. He has too many ways to deal with her. He's just delaying the, you know, getting dealt with Nora for 1 turn. And now Concologist, though, we've never seen it last
oh, Bandle Hellstones.
Yeah, this is very good.
Yeah, that's what we're going with. This is good because it lets you go +2/+1 mode, and that means Nora both gets to dodge a Quietus and also block his Brash unit that's going to be murdering your face. We could see maybe we could see like a Portal Scholar come out here. That would block the Brash unit and it wouldn't be killable. All right, so he's just gonna take his 6 damage here. Not give Simon the chance to develop.
Yeah, I just take it. Portal Scholar comes down. A little bit more portals are in the deck, and of course now Nora is vulnerable, but you don't really care that much. Okay, first Nora dies. Fine, it's done its job.
I mean, you're not really expecting Nora to survive long in this matchup, I would say. Like, one of the reasons that some versions moved to Gnar in this deck is because Nora was just so susceptible to removal from PNZ and SI like this. Opting not to remove the Portal Scholar with the Soul Harvest here. Have to see if we get punished by like drawing double portal for double impacts. Drew 1. Oh, but we get a created unit. We get the Owlcat here. We can play the Owlcat, give that impact as well. And then look at all of our Brash blockers and realize that the number of Brash blockers we have is 0.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. Of course, we are gonna be able to play the Jhin, is a Brash blocker, even though blocking the 7/7 with Jhin is not really what you want to do in your life. We are gonna be able to also play the Bundled Talismans into the spell +2/+1, and we would have at least one more.
Yeah, also, right now, Portal Scholar does block the Rash unit, which
Rash
is relevant.
Is relevant. It can
And like
also
if
trade
Simon, I
into
think if I'm Simon, I'm accepting this pass, honestly. Like, your opponent isn't developing more pressure onto the board. You got to put down 2 more units. You have another portal in your deck you can draw as a potential another Brash blocker. We don't get another Brash blocker. Ooh, another Rex is not exactly what we want here.
But we have an impact elusive that generates coins, if I'm not mistaken.
Technically, you're correct. These double Soul Harvest and Aftershock in hand says it's probably not sticking around for the long term. Oh,
Yeah,
but we could
resources to get out a random unit generated by a portal that you did doing something else.
Yeah, we could see a really scary card here, though, because we could see the Adaptatron 3000 into 8 mana Production Surge. And that could go very... And all the turrets have 2 HP, so none of them die to a single ping. They would die to the drop the bomb in hand.
And
we also don't have an answer to this. Okay, yep. Playing Shadow in the Brush, so now they can't just rip an 8 mana Production Surge. I suspect we'll probably see a Soul Harvest here. Going after that. So that makes the Production Surge a little bit worse. I still think it's pretty fine for Walk Alone if he wants to go for that. Could also just see him throwing some removal spells around. And Walk Alone's very comfortable because, like, he still has the Soul 6 mana Drain spell in hand as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Piercing Darkness.
Kind of matchups, you don't really know immediately with the beatdown, one just outscales, just because when you think about Jhin of Oracle's deck, he has turrets, he has Heimerdinger, Jace, potentially he outscales everything that Simon can ever put out, but also Simon, he has the clock of turn 8 when Rex comes down and can clean everything on the board potentially, but now immediately...
Oh, no, those are... Well, he's never died... Oh, wow, that's so bad for Simon.
Rex is not doing anything. Yeah,
like Rex is only doing 1 damage to these turrets. You're never killing the 2/4. Like, all these turrets eat 2 shots from Rex.
Dragon, yeah, imagine now another Endler in top deck. All those turrets would become 3 tough health, and that's not something you can deal with ever. But
I don't think you can deal with the Jace that easily either, especially once he flips. Also, I have to say, the triple Rex draw is not what Simon was looking for here, I think.
Absolutely not. He wanted to show Broken Bull how to play this deck, but the cards are not letting him do the masterclass.
I will say he can push some damage here. He has the elusive with impact, and Walk Alone really can't do anything about that. And with triple Rex, he kind of can just like play Rex into Rex into Rex if you can find a way to keep proccing them. That impact will be relevant. I actually would have preferred to hold back the Owl Cap because I think we might want that to trigger impact in the future.
Me too. I would have absolutely held back the Owl Cap, not just for applying impact, but also like you need blockers. Let's be fair. You will need blockers. Your opponent is always gonna have.
I don't know if you really need blockers. You're already 6 wide, and you have like a junk construct in hand that you don't mind throwing under a bus.
That's true.
Also, technically, Tellstones can give us the Bandle. Oh, what's it called?
The banner, the shield.
The 2 mana. The 2 mana card, whatever that's called.
Yeah, I don't really remember the name. Of course, Drop the Bomb is gonna be played in 3 turns. We're gonna have a free activator for.
Oh, High Note's a great draw here. But Walk Alone's quite sad right now. Or so not sorry. Simon's gonna be quite sad when this Jace comes down flipped and plays his card because there's really nothing Simon can do about it.
Yeah, there is a way for Simon to proc the Rex this turn, of course, playing the Pythos and then the Perus Pastry.
Or he can even go Bandle Tellstones, get the 2 damage to a unit, 2 damage to face card, and then play Rex.
Yeah.
Or I don't know what Jin's at for his progress.
The electric, isn't it the electric harpoon? No, that's not electric. Yeah, that's electric harpoon.
Yeah, electric harpoon is the card. Yes. Well,
so let's see what they decide to do.
Yeah, it depends on if they. Because let's see. So there's one from the. I know. You know what? I think Jin's at 2 progress, so he plays Pythos. It will let you play Rex here if he wants to.
Yeah, but now this is gonna be incredibly difficult to deal with.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna see the Pythos come out here, probably onto Jace, so then Jace dies to 2 shots. Yep. And then we're gonna do this into Rex, probably overriding our 2-1. So 1-2 might actually matter with impact. No, probably overriding the 1-2. Actually, no, it really doesn't matter. We see no relevant keywords, I would say, for nothing, like no elusive.
And let's see what we get from.
Oh wait, we get no. Oh, we only get 1 onto Jace, and we're only killing 1 turret. That's not a great one, I have to say.
That feels bad. Let's see if we can keep.
I will say we did kill 1 of the tough turrets, and everything else is dying to 1 Rex shot.
Exactly. So
and importantly,
for next
Adaptatron, there's no way to refill, and there's no way for Jace to do anything here.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to use Jace at its best, you know, you just have to get the.
Oh, wait a second. 2 of these turrets got Challenger. I think he can push 11 damage here.
Yeah.
Because he can drag away all 3 Brash blockers.
Oh man.
Like I said, now he's gonna ask the question of, does he want to drag away all the Brash blockers? Does he want to kill the elusive so we don't have a way to proc plunder for next turn?
Of course. Wait. But Jace has got the fearsome. So if you okay, now Jace can grab. Okay, and then I would do so Simon lives. Yeah, here.
Okay, so I guess you're doing this. You're saying, I still think you should just drag with Jace because you're missing out on 2 damage here for no reason, I would think.
Yeah, but how do they leave? This is.
Wait,
lethal.
I just realized something. No, this is lethal. I forgot the 8-1 had Brash as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, you just do this, and then they have to decide, okay, you block the 9-2, lethal, you block the 11-1.
It's just
game 1 to GT number 1.
Simon's Rex was not good enough for there. There was just too much in play. Yeah, Rex is usually really good at ending wiping the board here, but Heimer Jace just putting too many units with too much HP in play. Like the tough turrets, like not dying in 1 shot. Really annoying. It's like 6 wide. It was just not good enough there for Simon. Also, I think the triple Rex is all not great. Like when you have group shot and Pythos and you only find 1 of your ping effects, it doesn't feel too good.
Yeah, exactly. And especially you could have seen that Rex was so sad because you could see the face of, you know, Bilgewater's king, Bilgewater's Rex, that came down, wanted to kill everything, wanted to Jace, wanted to do some chaos and couldn't.
Yeah, he killed any other unit other than the regen unit, he would have lived, but he killed the only unit that didn't actually have a keyword that mattered for combat, and I'm not being good for him.
Ooh, and we're gonna see
the Nora Jhin run back here. Really allergic to playing Fisamir, it seems.
It is gonna be a repeat. I hope not for Salty Simon, to be honest, but his end is good. He has Nora, he has a construct, double bit heavy as in hand, but you have group shot to boot.
Yeah, like we have a decent hand from Simon. Unfortunately for him, this Nora has like 2 different ways to stop her from getting faced with Mystic Shot and the Quicksand, so she's probably not going to be able to.
Yeah, the next Sever. That's not happening. Of course, Chronomancer, second Chronomancer coming down. Pretty big stats right now on the board. You never work alone. Predict no echoes for now. The Jinx is in hand. Jinx can be a pretty valuable win condition. We don't see a broad main in hand for Saltish right now, so Jinx could stay alive.
Yeah. There is a drop the bomb group shot in hand for Simon, and Jinx doesn't really have a way to flip at burst speed easily in this deck.
Yeah, unless you play it as like the last card, or you have thing like a time trick to level her up immediately.
Yeah. I would say Simon's not in bad shape here because like there's only 2 predicts for Echo. We have an answer for Echo if they play it with the double ping spell. So we don't have to worry about Echo. Like we have Echo removal. It's just a follow-up to Echo we're not doing great with. Like this board is 4 wide right now. Right, we do have double ping effect. And with Jhin, we actually could see the rare Jhin is removal. Where he just like comes down and then Simon plays ping effects to kill off the units, trigger stun effect. Although drop border is the weakest unit and drop border survives Jin's skill, so.
Also, to be honest, right now we have.
Oh, and he's now 6 wide.
Yeah, this is a problem. Let's see if it continues to be a problem in the next few turns. Of course, so this Simon is gonna have to be very big units on the board. Of course, the Scholar and the Jhin, both 4 HPs, they are kind of a wall for Jhin Neverwalkalon's deck until Voice of the Reason is enabled and comes down on the board. Let's see what Jhin Neverwalkalon can do. Like, even a little bit of damage matters a lot because Jinx is in hand, so the outcome of Burst Lethal is possible.
Yeah, and importantly, Walk Alone did not find Echo in any of those 4 predicts. So he doesn't really have a way to turn on this Voice of the Risen in hand. And we see the Jhin come down here. I think this makes sense because we want to start removing these units. So I suspect he's gonna like play a ping spell here to remove something, and then like maybe like go like high toss, perilous pastry, attack with Jhin. Or maybe even don't attack with Jhin, so you have the stun enabled for next turn.
In case you like has to do stuff right, like it's his turn right now. It's his action, and if he passes, so the Simon is passing immediately, and no echo again. This is very bad.
And Walk Alone wrote over a unit to do that, so that's 1 less removal spell Simon has to throw at these units.
Exactly. Skip.
And Voice of the Risen like is a good card, but we're not flipping Voice of the Risen easily in this deck. And Simon's opting to instead say, "I want to make sure my units are alive still." Ooh, we find a Nura and Froop, which does discount our Nora because we don't have a Yordle in play, which is pretty funny.
It really is. Of course, he's gonna die, so
yep.
The discount isn't.
And like. Yeah, this attack is not doing much here for Walk Alone. This is pushing 3 damage, and we're losing 4 units. And there's no Echo in hand. We're not finding one, so we're probably not going to be able to build up another board like this the rest of the game. And Simon's super happy with this.
Yeah, I think this might be, the turn that turns the game for Simon. Sorry Simon's for the double turn.
Yeah, and Simon's really happy if he sees a Mystic Shot coming out at the Portal Scholars. Oh, he's gonna go Quicksand here to save his unit. Oh, he's gonna throw Quicksand here to save his 2/3 to keep pressure on the board. And Simon also played this really well with his blocks as well, because that Quicksand could only save 1 unit. He couldn't use it to save 2.
Yeah, imagine if it was old Quicksand that you save 2 units and then the game is completed because you're 4 wide.
Yeah. Unfortunately for him, this Mystic Shot is still in hand. And this Jinx could level if we get the 0 mana predict. Like, if we get a Feral Prescience, this Jinx would flip. It would also like immediately die, but I mean, flipped Jinx is quite good.
It's something. Also, Simon could overstep, saying, my opponent has 2 cards.
Oh, we're gonna see the classic Jhin spell this turn. I mean, I think it's really good here. We get to play Jin Spell on the 1-3 probably, because then Jin Spell would kill it. Or we can go, no, you know what, going for this makes sense. So this dies to ping.
Next turn you can play, it's 4 damage, right? Next turn.
Yeah, it's 4 damage. So we can immediately kill the Voice of the Risen. And we also trigger the stun effect as well. Oh, we get a portal.
Oh no, this is also a little bit of aggro. 3-2 units, premium stat line for an aggressive trade. You go, you block, you stun, you kill. This is very, very, very good for Salty Simon. He has also the option to go and use the group shot if he wants, the Pergus pastry. He has a lot of ways to push damage now.
And importantly, Walk Alone cannot flip the Jinx this turn.
Yeah, it's 1 mana off.
Yep. So Jinx was not able to flip, which means we can't turn on this other Voice of the Risen in our hand. We did not. Yeah, this is one of the problems with the Walk Alone's deck that this can have is if you don't find Echo, it can get really hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's very, very, very difficult at that point because you have exhausted all your, resources to draw. You've used 4, 5. 6, if I'm not mistaken, predicts. You have not found the Echo, you have not put any Chrono Bricks in your deck and or activated Voice of the Risen, and now you don't have any way to deal pressure and you are starting to fall behind more. Also,
yeah, and Simon has a really good line here. We can go Perilous Pastry, kill the elusive, and then he can attack, and if there's a Mystic Shot thrown at on the stack at Jin, for example, or at Nora, he can respond with a fast spell and stun the other unit and kill it, essentially. We're going to see the second voice come down. I will say, if Simon tries to commit to kill this, that is bad for him, because then he doesn't have any rule for Jinx left.
I mean, right now, that's not true, because of course group shots are activated, so it's 2 damage each. Let's see what happens later, though. Jinx could come down.
Going to throw. I think you should just go with the guarantee here. Then again, I'm saying this with full vision of Walk Alone's hand here.
It's always kind of easy as a caster to point out stuff because you have full vision. You are in God mode basically. You have all the information that you want.
All right, and Simon decides, you know what? I will respect removal, and this also means that Walk Alone has 0 blockers right now. And both his blockers will go to 1 HP, so they will both die to this group shot through these group shots in Simon's hand. However, Simon is out of cards that do anything, and if one of his units dies, he loses his ability to kill this Jinx.
Yeah, and I think one of his units, like the Nora per se, is or the one of the Tritus are gonna die immediately. Interesting to kill the Scholar to stop, the impacts coming from the created units from the portals.
Yeah, I mean that is probably the most impactful unit on the board that he can kill with this Mystic Shot. It's either like that or Nora, but this prevents more damage, and you can Scrying Sins the Nora for this turn to hopefully find your Echo, because you can go Echo into Jinx next turn, which would be good.
Yeah, it could go.
Like as long as you don't draw another Jinx. Like second Jinx is actually the worst draw that Walk Alone could have, and he finds the Echo.
Okay, so Echo is gonna be online. You can go Echo into Jinx, into attack, into Chrono Break potentially.
Yeah, that would be insane if that happens. Like Walk Alone would just be insane if he could actually just do that and come steal this game away. Although if Simon gets a unit here off his top deck, he does trigger. All right, Portapalooza could potentially be a unit, because he can turn on these group shots, and if he turns on these group shots, he can kill a champion, which will probably be Echo. So he really doesn't want Echo to draw the Chrono Break this turn.
Let's see if we can find the portal.
Portal Scholar is a unit. And then we have 2 units that are coming in. So now we have 3 portals in the top. So we have 3. So we have 2 in the top 3, one and another one in the top 4. See the Jinx come down here.
And now the question is, do you leave the Jinx alive and so your opponent draws 2 every turn, or do you kill the Echo immediately? The answer is be just kill the
I think it
Echo
has to be Echo, because if you kill Jinx and then they get counter break, you get absolutely destroyed. Also, Jhin is now flipped. That is that is 4 damage coming at the opponent, plus 2 more from these drop the bombs.
This is really close to being lethal just by open attacking and letting everything play.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Simon is going to be putting Walkalone to 3 HP, almost guaranteed. I would suspect that we're probably throwing a 3-1 under the bus here. Yep.
3-1 dies. It was to be expected.
It's very likely Simon draws a portal here. He has pretty good odds. Oh, another Jinx is pretty good off the top. Oh, Esmus is pretty good, honestly. Because let's pump the Nora up.
I mean,
Simon has lethal in this hand right now.
Yeah. Also, yeah, with Lightning Rush even more. Like Lightning Rush can be used like if Jessie Never Commons uses the Jinx spell, uses the Get Excited to kill a unit, then you just Lightning Rush face.
Yeah, and that's it, because then then you get the lethal with these you get the lethal with these what's it called? With these drop the bombs here, scrappy bombs, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and there is not even like contention about interactions or top decks or burst, not burst, but like fast lethal from the side of GZ Never Vocalo next turn. This is just plain lethal. Now, oh wait, yeah, because right now you can't do anything though.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, he's going to block with Jinx.
Right now it's not lethal. Right now it's not lethal.
Oh, yes, he has to actually have the Lightning Rush resolve.
Yeah, and Lightning Rush is resolving only if GZ Never Clones uses the Get Excited first. Which is
I mean, I think it's probably likely he does to Get Excited.
Right now, no, because the attack is already okay.
I would say, like, here's the things, like, how are we winning? If we're not getting Rocket this turn, how can we win the game next turn?
Yeah, and you're not playing around, the Lightning Rush at this point.
Yep. Yeah, and with this Lightning Rush here, this is just game, because now the Scrappy Bombs finish him off next turn.
And GZ Never Clones loses for the first time in this 5, we could say. And it's not really the best of 5, it's in
not
this,
yet.
Series.
Yeah, so now we're on to the game 3, and we finally get to see Fizz Samira. I remember last week you had some very explosive starts. We're gonna have to see if those can be those can continue this time around, or if Echo Jinx is gonna be better prepared to handle. I will say, Scrying Sand seems really good against some of these cards that Simon wants to swing with, like Samira and Fizz. And we see, honestly, a decent hand from Simon. We have the All Out and the Warning Shot and the Butcher and Elegant Edge, but like, we have all of these early game cards and we have nothing to follow up with them. Yeah, I don't mind tossing that. Okay, we have Jagged Taskmaster here. All right.
Yeah, at least you need that buffs everything else, buffs the monkeys, notably.
Yep. Oh, hey, speaking of monkeys, there they are.
Yeah, Pandemonium. It's gonna be a while since we see that card being played, but
and we're gonna see a turn 1 3/2. This one can't be blocked by anything Walkalone could play here, so this makes sense.
For damage, it's a lot of damages we can do turn 1. Classic aggro for damage turn 1 combo. Really like it.
Oh, we're gonna see the Mystic Shot come out here from Simon. Okay. They're saying I don't want to deal with that, or not from Simon, from Walkalone onto Simon's unit. That's something we don't want to see that. We have Feral Presence and Quicksand. So I guess this is, do we want to predict to level up this Echo in our hand, or do we want to have a Quicksand? And it looks like he's going for the Feral Presence here. Yeah, Echo's only at 1 right now, so. Oh, all right. And Simon's gonna play this Jagged Butcher. He wants to plunder next turn. It's gonna get punished by this Mystic Shot in hand.
Naked Butcher is gonna get killed immediately here, of course.
Yeah, but
Now
I mean,
he's
I think
ready.
Simon's kind of happy with this, honestly, because now we get to play Samira, and that doesn't eat this Mystic Shot. And with 2 Mystic Shots down from the deck, Jinx Echo kind of is out of ways to deal with her.
Yeah, that's true. There is gonna be the quicksand option, even though I think maybe Aspiring Chronomancer is gonna be the choice here just to fasten
We are at 2 on our predicts. We don't have the 3rd one yet, so. Yep, and now the Samira's gonna come down. That's gonna give us our plunder procs for next turn, most likely. Or honestly, we might just wait, might just sack the turn. Okay, now I think we probably don't want to sack the turn. And like, this board is 4 wide. You probably don't want to take all of this damage.
In this timeline,
I don't hate just playing.
I would
Also-
monkeys probably.
Also, we play. Oh, no, we don't have enough mana to play monkeys and a Taskmaster, and then go Pandemonium next turn. Oh, thank you, Pandemonium nerf. He's gonna opt instead to play the Fizz, and he's probably. Oh yeah, that's right. Doesn't want to swing with the 1/3s because the 1/3s just are fodder for Samira to get another free flare. Because there's no ping effects, there's no pump spells, so he doesn't have to care. Like 1 HP is as good as 2 in this matchup. Oh, all out's a great draw here from Simon.
Really good. Of course, now we got the loser on Fizz.
Yep.
And the Monkey Business online. First Monkey Business, the Taskmaster could come down buffing all the 1-drops.
Yep, I suspect that will be the case. This Echo will probably also come down here. This is now leveled, although importantly, Echo cannot get Chrono Break this turn, and there's no Quicksand available. However, he's just a really good player because he found another Mystic Shot.
So we have a way to deal with the Samira.
Yes,
potentially.
or even the Fizz. If like Samira wants to swing, she has to be. They have to play the. Has to commit the all out because the 2/3 just blocks and kills her for free.
Yeah.
Also, dude, this game really wants Walk Alone to take this Quicksand. It's given it to him every single time.
real good to see you.
Exactly. And now we could just commit. We take the 3 damage from the Fizz, I think, and if Salty Simon buffs the Samira, we can just kill the Fizz.
I mean, we could kill the Fizz, but there's 1 card unknown in Simon's hand. And the question is, does Walk Alone want to respect that card?
I'm a gambler. I would take the chances.
Also, we didn't see a Quicksand here, so we're super happy about that. This would have been a really good Quicksand on like Samira and Fizz, and then it's like, all right, cool. You get to kill both of them. Oh, he just gives up the Samira, says Fizz is too important. Oh, but you know what? That was a second Samira in hand. I think it does kind of make sense why we're doing that.
Yeah, I didn't notice the all-out being second Samira, to be honest. Makes sense that you made this play right now. Of course, Echo leveled up coming down. This is really bad for Salty Simon. This is gonna put a lot of pressure from now on.
Yeah, I will say the monkey coming down here is pretty big because it gives you a free block on Echo, and this attack's only dealing 5 damage. So you get the block here with Echo. And you also get the trigger plunder for this Butcher.
Yeah, let's see what this Zero Mana Time Trick gives to us. Or, I mean, to us, to GZ Never Walk Alone.
Yeah. Yeah, and so... Okay, so no Chrono Break and no Rite of Negation. Those are the 2 cards I would say are most important.
If you're a gambler, you skip. If you're a gambler, you skip. Let's see if he skipped. He didn't skip.
I mean, Clockling can get you both of those cards still, and we did find Chrono Break.
Yeah, and it's a discounted Chrono Break on top of that.
Yeah. I mean, I suspect we're going to be seeing a Chrono Break coming out this turn. I guess the question would be, do we see Powder Pandemonium come out to match it? So you just like
This is
have.
too long. Sometimes Simon knows. It took too. He has taken too long of a time to decide.
Oh, and he's going to opt to play the Samira here.
And throw.
Ooh. Are we gonna see the Chrono Break played immediately?
I would suspect the answer is probably going to be yes.
It's a lot of value. It's really a lot of value. It gives us another draw, of course. We can swing with an elusive. It's like 34 damage, but instead we are gonna see the trade on the second Samira. So second Samira is down.
Also, this is all 3 Mystic shots, so there's no more of those in the deck. So let's say we're gonna go for the opt for the Chrono Break next turn.
Oh
And
my god, the best player that I have ever seen using overall counts, just stop decking the win condition. Nice.
Yeah, Simon's in such bad shape now, though. It's like, now you're dead guaranteed to the open attack. You do not have lethal on this attack right now, because it can get fully blocked down. You're only getting 4 burn here. So you're putting your opponent down to 3 at best, and then you're just dead to Chrono Break. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it looks like Simon will also be going down here. And it looks like...
GZ Never World Commons is proving to be a bolt skiller. A bolt skiller.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see if...
broken.
We're gonna have to see if Baja can make sure that they are able to get a single win, or they're just gonna go down.
It's all gonna come down to a world-class player. I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better, quote-unquote ending.
Hey, you know what? Bozizi, look at this. Bozir, look at this. The board's getting completely traded down. That's good for us, right?
That's good for Simon, yes, of course. But let me tell you, there is this 3-mana spell that can revive everything and give you rally. That sounds pretty broken, doesn't it?
What are you talking about? There's a 2-mana spell in hand that's doing that, not 3 mana. And he's not even gonna play. Dang, he's not even gonna play the time trick first. Going for maximum speed there, as he just takes down the competition, dropping only a single game so far to Broken Ball and Simon. Now he is 1 game away from getting the full sweep into finals.
So it's either Bajatak doing the miracle reverse sweep and completely destroying Aphrodite Sports, or it's GZ Never Walk Alone just asserting his dominance over Europe. I mean, he's European too, but he would be, the king of Europe at this point for this competition. I mean, these are 2 of the best storylines that there could have been. GZ Never Walk Alone completely smashing everything, and I can't wait for next game.
I will say, one thing I am sad about is his team, GZ Walk Alone's teammates also brought some interesting decks, and we won't get to talk about them if he just wins every single game.
I mean, it happens sometimes. It happens. But on that note, we are gonna leave you for now and break before GZ Never Work Alone is gonna try to do the full sweep and get the bingo complete against Breakables. So see you soon for the last, probably, most potentially last match of the day. And welcome back for the third set of this Aegis League semi-finals. We've seen two times, time and time again, GZ never will come take games against Breakables. What do you think about what we have seen, Dragon?
I think that Walk Alone's lineup was quite good into what Broken Ball and Simon were running, and we're going to see if it's going to be able to take down Baja as well, and he'll be able to get the full sweep.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, Bajatak, very tough player to beat. World-class player, as everyone else in his team. And let's see his lineup. Of course, Jace, Heimerdinger, we have seen it on GZ Never Walk Alone side. This one is pretty similar, don't you think?
It's pretty similar. It's got a few notable differences. One is we're actually playing the Dawning Shadows tech here. Also teching in a miscall as well. It's an interesting choice. We're going a 2-2 split in our 1-drops instead. We're no Albus Pharaohs for over the top damage. Only one Piercing Darkness, and we're playing a Hex split instead. So a lot more variety in our 6-drop spot, and the one miscall, pretty spicy. I'll see if that actually ends up mattering.
Yeah, that's going to be definitely interesting. Miscall can make for pretty interesting outcomes, especially when you think you have killed an Heimerdinger and you bring him back to life for 3 mana. That's not fun for your opponent if they have invested like 6 or plus mana to kill him. Let's also see the second deck. This lineup from Bajatak is very similar to the one from GC Never Walk Alone, but the real spice, it's the second deck. That's the Action Nidalee. What do you think about it?
We finally have some spice. We finally have one of the new cards being prominently featured here, with Valley of Imitation being the centerpiece for this deck. As for those who don't know, with Valley of Imitation, if you play Beguiling Cobra, it'll transform into a Beguiling Cobra, then you'll get a Beguiling Cobra, and you'll just be able to churn out a board of them.
You feel bored.
It can get quite out of hand very quickly.
Yes, I've in this past few days I've been watching some friends toy with it, especially Morpies, and it's been really fun to watch some Beguiling Cobra gameplay. He doesn't play Needle in this deck, it's just mono action because he likes it more, but I completely get it why you want Needle. You just stabilize, pretty good unit all around.
I mean, hey, if you have a Nidalee and the landmark, and you play a Cobra, you just flip Nidalee immediately as well, which is pretty cool. I will say one thing to note about this deck is there is a little bit of a bug with Valley of Imitation that the players are aware of, which is that if the unit that Valley of Imitation transforms into is stunned or frostbitten, that unit will remain stunned or frostbitten the rest of the game, even when it transforms back into the landmark and back into a unit. So have to see if that comes up. I don't think it'll come up much with these decks that Walk Alone's playing, but if Baja wins, it could come up against some of the other ones. But we still have one more deck to talk about, which is Vanetrox.
Yeah, Vanetrox, of course, this time with Queen, 2 Aatroxes, much more quote-unquote standard than what we have seen from GC Never Walk Alone.
Yeah, and also bit of a difference in the ratios as well for some of these cards. Like, we're playing triple fish fight. We're not playing any single combats. We're playing Cataclysm instead. We have a Condemn.
Yeah, 3 Bloodletters too, and 1 Ballista, which we're not.
Yeah, we're not playing any copies of Fan. We're not playing any copies of the Targon one either. We're only playing 2 Spears, and we are opting for the Quinn instead of the third Aatrox.
Yeah, the Lodestone, as you mentioned, is missing. Of course, pretty good deck overall this time around with Queen, so a little bit more variety in champion split, a little bit more also variety on gameplay, because of course splitting 3-2-1 champions give you more flexibility depending on what you find than the classic 3-3 split. These are the lineups. Pretty solid. Of course, we have already talked about this extensively about the one from GZ Never Walk Alone. What do you think? They're pretty like mirrored if you think about it. Both have Vanetrox and both have Jace Heimerdinger. The biggest difference maker is the second deck. Do you think that's gonna be the point of contention and potentially point of ban?
All right, so I do not know any of the matchups for Akshan Nidalee.
Me neither.
So here's the thing. I don't know if Walk Alone knows those matchups either. And he needs to be like, you know what? I know about these other 2 decks. I have these other 2 decks. I think I can win the mirrors for these 2 decks. I am just going to get rid of that deck I am not fully aware of and just run it back with the other ones. Additionally, he could say, I don't think that deck is that strong, and I'll ban one of the other stronger decks. Well, what do you think Bajatak's going to do here, though, Zero, over his ban?
Okay, here we are actually dealing with kind of two ego players, quote unquote, like two very strong players. And so Vegeta could just say, okay, as you mentioned, I am the better player. I can win these mirrors. I just banned the Echo Jinx. We play full mirrors tonight. I win because I am the better player, or I just draw better. That's something that can definitely happen here.
Yeah, I mean, for the Echo Jinx, we did see it brick in that second game pretty hard, to the point that Broken Ball was able to easily come in and just set up his combo and win the game.
Yes.
So maybe if we get to another hand like that, Walkalon's to be in quite a bit of trouble, especially since these decks are able to end the game much faster than Jinora can. Like, all these decks can probably end the game on turn 6 or 7 if you have a slow hand. But then again, a fast hand can probably also beat all of these decks before they can get a chance to do their funny combos.
Yeah, so we're just waiting for the bans to come in for both players. And of course, when you have like these cases of like mirror quote-unquote lineups, it's always difficult to predict because both players could say, okay, I don't want to play this mirror, I don't want to play the other one. Maybe, as you mentioned, Bajatak wants to
we
leave
see the ban.
alone, and the ban is on the Hammer Jace. Disney Welcome doesn't want to play the mirror.
Yeah, for sure. And just waiting to see what Bajatak is going to be banning here from Walk-Alones. Do you think we're going to see double Hammer Jace bans?
Yeah, actually, could be. It would be pretty funny, you know. That would leave, of course, the mirror for Vaintrox. Almost mirror, because it's not completely the same deck. We've seen quite a little bit of little differences. Of course, the game plan overall is still the same. But no,
we're gonna see the Echo Jinx. Yeah, you know what? I think that's kind of understandable because that deck can be quite explosive. I would say it's probably the fastest of the 3 decks that Walk-Alone has. So we get to see some honest Demacia mid-range and then unfair things.
Very unfair things.
Yeah, and I will say this is also our first time actually able to see Vayne Aatrox, because it was banned in both of the first 2 games. So finally off the ban table and coming to a screen near you.
And shackled like Silas.
Yeah, Silas is not in the game yet, but he's coming soon, TM.
Yeah, I mean, he had his own game, so I think he's fine, is satisfied for now. That was a pretty good game, by the way.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's one of the few games I've actually completed this year, but yeah, I'm excited to see what they're gonna do here for their first decks. Do you think we're gonna see Hammer Jace first for the 3rd time in a row from Walk-Alone?
Yes. Walk-Alone, I think Hammer Jace can win against Vaintrox. It's not the easiest matchup, but it's doable, definitely. As we mentioned, we don't know anything about the matchup table for Nidalee and Action. Lapsus for a second. But yeah, I think this in a World Cup has shown to us that he's not afraid of starting with Hammer Jace. Meanwhile, Bajatak, I would really like for him to throw a curveball and starting with the Action Nidalee deck, just because no one knows anything about it. You just win with it, you stun your opponent, and you go then with Vaintrox to, finish your prey. That would be a pretty cool line.
You know what? No matter what, we're gonna see a different second deck here because we have not, there's no Jinora that can come in to face this Hammer Jace game 1 again.
Exactly. So it's gonna be a new experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Let's see when the players are gonna be ready to get into the game. I think they're loading in, checking the screenshotting your opponent deck. You want to know everything. You want to be comfortable.
Either getting it up on their second screen or putting the deck up in another tab, something like that. Or just saying, screw it, I don't need to look at these deck lists. I'm just gonna memorize these cards or respect nothing.
That's the Giga Chat line. I just memorize it. I don't need the shit. I don't need anything to write on.
It's it's one thing to not know what deck your opponents are playing. The real Giga Chat thing is to not know the deck you're playing.
Yeah, that's I
will say that open strategy is not that good, guys. I would not recommend it. I only got to 5 wins with it.
That was the Monday Madness strategy. When Monday Madness was a thing, you didn't know what you were playing. Your opponent didn't know what he was playing, and so no one knows anything. You just have fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time. I kind of did something similar in the last Open. I just went into one of the Discord servers and said, "Hey guys, I need 3 decks for the Open." I picked the first 3 decks people gave me, imported all the deck codes, didn't look at them, didn't modify them, and just booted it up. And that's the story of how I played Mono Renekton last Open.
Nice. At least you said it was a nice experience. You just killed people randomly, apparently, with flying lethals, as we say in Italian.
Yep. Yeah.
So I really wish we had more info about this Beguiling Cobra deck. It looks super nice, as I mentioned. I have seen more players playing it quite a bit, but it's still a mystery to me.
Yeah. I'll have to see if that mystery can be solved here, or that mystery will stay on the shelf if like Baja doesn't even end up playing the deck. I really hope we get to see it. I saw it in Eternal. It was doing some pretty disgusting things. But I also saw a game where it went against Targon Invokes, and the opponent decided that they were going to Equinox every single Cobra in our deck.
That wasn't fun.
that was not funny. That was definitely a lot of fun for the opponent, but it definitely wasn't fun for the person on the receiving end.
And the fangs are buffed. That means that you have another access. They have more access to Equinox. Of course, Zoe's there as well.
Yeah. We're spoiled here in Standard with there's no good way to invoke a follower that in a 3 or less pool at all. You have to like just luck into it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have lived in a quote-unquote Targon-free meta for a little bit too much now, and at least with that part of Targon.
Yeah, it has been a long time since Targon Invoke has been good. I would say at least 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. Since the last time Targon Invokes was like doing decently well with like Allegiance package. That's only happening in Eternal, because here we're playing Standard and we get to see the deck. Baj is playing Akshan Italy game 1, and we get to see Vaintrox as well. Jace Heimerdinger is not coming out this game.
So completely new matchup, completely new decks. We have never seen these two before tonight, and Value of Imitation and Beguiling Cobra are already in the end of Bajak, so the combo is set up. Let's see what we can do with it.
I would say
Dark Bloodletter, oh my god, this is the final combo with Sholani. I've seen terrible things with it.
Here's the thing. It's cool that we have those cards in our hand. It'd be really cool if we had cards to play before those cards. Oh, never mind, we do. Okay, we got All-Terrain Trooper. Yeah, All-Terrain Trooper seems pretty good.
Yeah. Also, like in this matchup, actually, you feel like GZ Never Walk Alone with this, kind of text to deal with more aggro option. They lose a little bit of value because Bajatak is never gonna, aggro you. They are gonna just have this super wide big board that can kill you in 1 or 2 strikes, and like those 2 healing from the fan is not gonna be that important.
Yeah, and also this is pretty cool from Baja because now we can say if Walkalon wants to play this Broadwing, it just dies. And even if he gives it like, okay, I'm gonna put the equipment on this thing, it's now a 3/3 with tough. Well, he can just play Bloodletters on his dude, flip him, and kill that as well. So it's like that. Yep. So we're probably gonna see a Bloodletters come out here to just like make the extra unit, and then he's just gonna kill the Broadwing here. I would have to imagine.
Yeah. Of course, immediately dealing with the Pigeon. Super good. That's a very, very annoying unit that can actually end up trading a lot of yours. You get the Troll for free, which is really nice to restart the board. It's really nice to have him and buff him again and again and again with the blocked letters potentially.
Yeah, I will say this is all very cool. Baj is kind of not able to play a card that blocks for the next 5 turns of this, like 3 or 4 turns of this game. I think he would be very interested in blocking at some point.
Yeah, I think blocking is good.
You know what? Actually, I lied. We hate blocking here. We hate blocking here. And also, that means we can't play Zolani in 2 turns. I don't know how relevant that's gonna be. All right. So fortunately, we can't get rallied on this turn.
Yeah, we can get rallied on next turn though.
Yeah, Baja's probably gonna die here, if I'm being honest.
Oh my god, this looks horrible. She's in a Rockon. is showing us
Like-
what he can do with his Vayne truck
Yeah.
stack.
Yeah, we don't have that many units that cost less than 6 mana in our deck to play. And we don't have any of them. Like, the all-terrain trooper draw was really cool, and that's very helpful. But I think this... I think we're just going to lose the game next turn to this Valor.
If we don't draw anything to block, yeah, probably.
Like-
even if we draw something that can block, that's gonna be a lot of damage to take. If
I
not-
mean, even if we draw... I mean, I think we're literally just dead to
Yeah.
this attack already. Like, he can just play... Like, take his open attack here, push 9, and then he just, like, tumbles a harp onto Valor, and there's nothing we can play that can block it. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that saves us. That buys us a turn. Because now we can deny the tumble.
Yeah, we will be able to deny the tumble. It's not gonna be nice.
Also, importantly, this does give us another blocker in the form of the bush that we summon.
Purge with silver.
That's true. Let's see if it's enough.
Oh,
though.
that blocker won't stay around, but it will exist. I will say, if we get past, if we don't die to tumble next turn, we have a chance. I mean, I think if you walk alone, you're just ripping tumble here because tumble doesn't work here. Just go for it. First action next turn.
Yeah,
and they have to have-
you're mass producing them at this point. Like,
Yeah.
if you have a Bane on the board, you
There
just
is
mass produce them.
one deny in Baj's deck that can stop this. It's like that and Palm. Are they really the only ways that you're able to survive this as Baja? I was like, if he does survive this, he gets to play Cobra. But he has token on. Yes. All right. So we found Palm. That lets us not die because then we can get the extra blocker. But then we. All right. I mean, I guess we just start by attacking with our 4/3 and pray that they decide, you know what, we actually don't want you to have. We actually don't want this Darkin to live. He's just gonna do nothing, and Walk Alone probably just throws down a Badger Bear and says, I'm going to say you're dying no matter what you do now. Because if he plays blocking Badger Bear, he doesn't even need to tumble to have lethal next turn. Unless Baj is a really good player and top decks the second Palm. Yeah. Because now, even with Palm, you're able to push for... Oh, swings with the Avenging Style. I mean, we do have the Wuju styles.
I think it's correct.
Yeah, we do have Wuju styles, so actually, if our opponent goes to say, okay, I'm going to kill your Avenging Style, which they don't, yeah, they could, like,
Why
keep it
would they?
alive. Yeah, and now there's no... I don't think there's any reason to not just slam a tumble here.
Yeah, I can slam the tumble. And as you mentioned, we are mass producing them at this point. You don't really care. You use one, you're rallying. Your opponent it's in such a dire situation. You force them all to play anything they could ever have. The one deny they could have would be immediately played, and you would just have another tumble. You
Oh,
have the
but we're
open
not
attack
going
turn.
to. To be fair, I don't know about this because I guess the reasoning here is that we have lethal on the open even through a single piece of interaction.
Yeah, but
And
now we will see the palm played now, I think.
the problem with playing Palm now is that now it's just like the green light to tumble, and the stun unit can still attack this turn.
Full of fear.
Oh, this is... And we can't even protect our unit from the harp here because the Fowler's gonna have 5 HP or 5 attack, and twins or Wuju Style's not gonna be enough. So Walk Alone just has this game. He's got it. That's game 1 to Walk Alone. Yep, Baja just gonna let it hit in his face. The deck was really cool. I really liked it, Baja, but that was not the game you want to see from that deck. I think you just didn't have any units to block that early game, If he had one more unit he could have played there, I think he had a chance because he could have gotten to next turn and played Cobra. He's probably able to turn that game around, but could not get there in the end. So now he's gonna have the 2-0 Heimer Jace, or BBBSSS's season will just be over.
I mean, they would still gonna be playing for third and fourth spot, you know, but that's not what you want. You
Yeah.
You won the last edition, you want to be in the final, and everything now is on the back of Bajatak. One game is what divides them from absolute defeat at the ends of GZ Never Walk Alone. Let's see if they can come back from the deepest and dire.
Bajatak has also switched deck. He's playing Aatrox Vayne now. Oh, Quietus and Soul. These are all so. Walk Alone's got some pretty good cards in his hand, honestly. You can answer the Vayne. Oh, we cannot answer this Badger Bear, which I assume will probably be the play from Bajatak.
Yeah, now there is Zero Vulcan able to formula, draw more.
Yeah, you can go like formula, Soul Harvest, kill Vayne, but now there's not anything. And yeah, you can just like formula a block here, and they played equipment. You can just Quietus it. Yep.
Yeah, I think you probably just the formula there was basically free. Now the equipment, I think it's almost 100% gonna be played for Bajatak. You know that's a free strike,
yep.
And you want this.
Yep. Yeah,
this is all though giving a lot of value to GZ Never Walk Alone, because now you're even regenerating the mana that you use for this Quietus.
Yeah, Walk Alone's super happy with this because also that was the only one Baja had to give HP, so now this unit will be vulnerable to a Mystic Shot type effect, of which we have like 3 high note, 2 Mystic, and he's not even gonna take the attack. These 2 nerve, he does not want to risk that.
Let's see what GZ Never Walk Alone decides to do here, and it's gonna be
a 6 mana production surge, and oh, he just puts 4 units into play.
It's just better.
Yeah, like this Vayne can come down here, but I don't think Bodge is in a good position here.
He doesn't have weapons.
Like Walk Alone can just say, okay, cool, I'm just going to attack here. All of your units are gonna, sure, I take 2 trades, but I get to keep my Forge Chief. I can understand. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you probably want to get this Forge Chief off the board.
He has given so much value already, to be honest. 2 mana. Okay, in this deck.
I gave him 2 mana, stop the turn 3 attack, and it keeps our turret alive. So if we top deck Handler, it gets extra value there. It also like means that we can play that 6 mana production surge and now still have Vengeance open. We can also go Soul Harvest on this Broadwing here if we really want to. I will say we are running low on small removal. Like we have double Vengeance in hand, but we don't have a way to like easily answer a small unit. And Jace is not safe to play in Walk Alone's hand. Granted, Bajatak does not know that there isn't a spell like that. Ooh, these are some good options here. Should we go Shock Blast for double removal? Yeah, we can go like Shock Blast or True Shot Barrage for double. Oh my god, wait, True Shot Barrage just cleans up all 3 of these units that we're seeing. Auto Devastation's really good if we're seeing a whatever it's called. Oh yeah, Auto Devastation's really good if we're worried about Darkened Board. That's probably not gonna happen this game. This should probably get Soul Harvested immediately because we really don't want this getting a weapon. Like if this gets Harp, we're losing 2 units on our board, and then they just like get to have free reign of this. Well, he's gonna say Bajatak doesn't have Harp, and unfortunately for Bajatak, he is correct.
No Harp to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this plays around more cards. Oh wait, he's just, oh, I thought he passed already. Never mind. Yeah, like this does play around more cards because there's only, it's like you're never able to beat Aftershock. This beats Mystic Shot and High Note. You could beat Quietus either way. And yeah, but unfortunately you can't beat Soul Harvest. However, this did turn on the Broadwing. Broadwing gets to eat a unit here. So we get to achieve board parity at least.
Yeah, killing this 5-2 though means the Jace can come down next turn.
Yeah. It's not... I mean, to be fair, you can just like give your guy a weapon. Oh, just takes the immediate attack because, you know, these both trade with their units. I think you probably take the one from Broadwing, but I don't know about the other one. Oh, doesn't even take the trade with Broadwing there. Oh, we see the Ranger Knight Defector here. This could be either a Jace or a Vengeance. I think, actually, no, Jace is completely safe now because Fish Fight's 3 mana, so you don't have to worry about Fish Fight ever.
I really like the Jace here. Like, you have just set up for next turn. They can't immediately kill the Jace. Next turn they would need to invest.
And as
Fish
well,
Fight.
a big thing about that is if you want to be able to kill this Jace next turn, you have to go like 1 mana Bloodletters onto your 4/3, and then Fish Fight, which would not let you play Aatrox, but instead we're just going to see the immediate vengeance from Walk Alone here saying, no, I don't want to risk you playing, rallying right now. Because to be fair, you did have 1 mana Tumble in hand. So that could have been a rally angle.
And now peace is just moments away.
Also, this Condemn in hand, if it's could let us kill Jace this turn if we go tumble on our Zolani. But, you know, Vengeance coming in yet again saying, no, Bajatak is being the fun police here, saying no big unit for you, Mr. Bajatak, as Walk Alone is just murdering everything on site.
Yeah, this is getting scarier though for Zinevrokom, because now he's out of Vengeances and he still has to deal with all the Aatroxes.
I mean, on the one hand, that's true. On the other hand, he has High Note, and he can just wipe this board right now.
That's absolutely true. And then
I will say, I definitely think he should have put High Note on the stack there as well to go with it, because now you can put this Bloodletters onto your Broadwing. Yep. And yep, now you can just kill one of these 1/1s, get the other unit in play. Oh, he's not even going to bother throwing it out. Oh, we finally found a handler.
Okay, I actually really like this Jace. Now there is nothing to threaten him immediately. So
And even if this Jace were to die right now, there's a second Jace in hand you can play.
And now peace is just
Yeah, exactly.
away.
I mean, I guess another question is, which 6-cost spell are you playing? Are you going like double Shock Blast on the... I mean, double Shock Blast on the Nexus puts them in dead to second Shock Blast next turn. It also leaves you super vulnerable to just dying to like tumble Zolani with Harp and then just like Fish Fight, kill Jace, and then just kill them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
Actually, he doesn't have a way to kill the Zolani right now. That doesn't involve losing his Jace.
exactly. And that's not good. At least there is not the option anymore to play, you know, the Harp plus the Fish Fight and not even lose HPs on the Shalani. Shalani is always gonna lose HP if she wants to go for the Jace kill.
Oh, Baja also has a really sick line he can go for right now, which is catching on a weapon onto the Solani. Like, I think catching on Geralt right now would be really good. Save some HP, and then you just Fish Fight, kill Jace, and then you just tumble. Yeah, that's what he's doing right now. Yeah, I really like this line. Because now Zolani gets to keep her HP. You get to tumble, you get to Fish Fight, kill Jace right now. And there's nothing Jace can do about it. And then you get to tumble Harp onto Zolani. And now you're just pushing lethal next turn and they don't have Vengeance. I think Baja's got it.
Yeah, you should have it. This is a really nice line that you pointed out.
Yeah, there's and importantly, looking at the Jace Heimer list, there are only 2 Vengeances in the list. There is no way for Walk Alone to stop this from killing him.
And I think the turn when he played the when he played the first Vengeance instead of playing the Jace, now comes back to bite him, because with the Jace immediately being played there, this wouldn't have happened. Like you would have had Jace before, and you could have put so much pressure on that this would have never happened.
Yeah. Oh, importantly, Zolani did not have Scout, so that's not lethal yet. So we do have an action to find lethal. This Vayne's going to level, so she won't die on this attack. However, I believe that Condemn in hand is also a Vayne, so we have to worry about that. But there's also a Ranger Knight we just drew, so now we can also play that.
Yeah. And we can't ever find lethal. I don't think there's any way GZ... Is there a way GZ never welcomes leaves? Probably is like...
I mean, first off, living starts with finding a Vengeance from this Reggie, probably.
Yeah. Let's see if Reggie helps him out.
Reggie, I mean, you gotta pick Song Spinner. Song Spinner is the only out you have now. You get another Mystic Shot effect. You can kill Zolani. But, yeah, now it's like, okay. Now he's looking, I mean, you just have to rip it right now. That's your only hope.
Yeah, let's see if the Song Spinner can scam the game right here, right now. Ooh. Okay.
Oh, actually, wait, this kills both of them.
Yes.
But Vayne's still lethal, because Vayne gets draw on her and then doesn't die to the first red. Oh no, wait, Vayne doesn't have Scout though.
No, she doesn't have Scout.
She does not have Scout, but you can like essentially. Yeah, I think you just use Vayne here to force the block.
Yeah, but now it's not. But now it's not in. Now it's a stall. Like Ginevra has got the Song Spinner next turn potentially to find more options. He's not running out of options immediately.
Yeah, but the problem is like now he's like essentially is forced to play a unit on his first action, or else Vayne Tumble just kills him. And even if Vayne Tumble doesn't just kill him, there's an Aatrox in hand that definitely will kill him. And these Heimerdingers are really cool and all, but we don't have the mana banks to be able to use them effectively. Like we could like play Heimer, then play this Song Spinner to get out a ton of units to block with. That would be really cool. But we do not. And now Baj is also like making sure he's out of burn range here. He could tumble on Harp here, so then Aatrox is not getting damaged and isn't at risk of dying to like a Mystic effect.
Would you play Heimer here? Yeah. I guess it's the only option, because then you can play the Song Spear next turn. Heimer isn't dying now. You're just trading the other. You're just trading with the handler.
Yep. Yep, and he's gonna put the Harp on this Aatrox. This way Aatrox is not gonna get damaged and be at risk of a Mystic effect. Heimer also enables us to draw 3 cards from his champ spell, although that's not gonna save us because we know there's no Vengeance left in the deck. I guess we could say we want to get the Mystic Shot effect, but we could also put Aatrox weapon on Vayne. Yeah, I was gonna say, now Vayne's gonna go back to full HP. She's not at risk of dying. So now Mystic Shot is not an out.
Purified bolts.
Yeah, I think Song Spinner is the out to get some kind of freeze. Is there even a freeze that can help you?
Not freeze. I don't think.
No.
Tag out would
Steel Tempest.
Steel Tempest is not in standard. Tag out would work. Oh, this is not. There's nothing in his deck that can save him. He's just dead. Yep, he is not gonna survive this attack, and this game goes to Baja. So now it's a matter of can the Cobra deck redeem itself here. Had a pretty unfortunate draw the first game. Now we're gonna see if it can come back and pull this one out here.
It's all or nothing for the Cobra deck. Is the Snake gonna start the reverse sweep, or is the snake gonna mean the end for the European team?
I mean, hey, you know, Big Game Tycoon's also pretty good, I hear. Yeah, also, so importantly for this Heimer Jace deck, it's on 2 Aftershock. So it has actual main deck interaction for the landmark. So the landmark combo is not guaranteed. If like, oh, I play landmark, I just have to survive till turn 7 now. It's like, okay, I played landmark, oh, they played Aftershock, I'm now crying on the inside.
Exactly. So there are ways for GC Never to disrupt the combo from the side of Bajrak, and also Bajrak has to actually draw the combo pieces. Last time around, we have seen the combo pieces from the opening end. This time around, we see Big Game Tycoon, we see Valet Imitation, no Cobra yet in the end of Bajrak.
Here's what I'll say. I think you really, after the last game, I really don't think you want to keep Big Game Tycoon.
Exactly.
You might want to keep the some of the other stuff. He's gonna mull it away. So I guess you have a turn 3 Nidalee potential, which is pretty cool.
Come on, people. Let's make tomorrow today.
And does Wuju style let you beat Quietus?
Let's go.
Yeah, the problem here though.
It does not, however, let you beat whatever it's called. Oh, and we see the first Aftershock here. That will probably either kill off this Nidalee or it will kill off the Valley. I will say, is it Quietus here? I think Baj is kind of happy to get it. Oh, Baj is actually not happy about this getting Quietus. Oh no, he has Prowl. He has Prowl, so you can play Prowl. Although then it kind of gives away that this may or may not be a Nidalee. If Walk Alone looks at the stack, you can see, oh, that was Nidalee's Prowl. Plus, if he plays Quietus, he can still swing with Forge Chief and get to a 6-cost spell next turn.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what GC decides to do. He just passes.
Yeah, and Baja will just pass back. So I guess he's just gonna go, okay, you know what? I don't want to risk my losing out on my mana if like you stop this from striking somehow. I don't know how that would happen, but you know, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna formula, and then I'm going to go from there. And now we're gonna go after the bush. And now this is probably gonna be met by a Wuju style, I'd imagine.
Could be Wuju style immediately played. The Bloodblasters are in end, but of course can't be played right now.
You know what? I forgot we just have Nidalee's Ambush. That seems way better. We don't use a real card from our hand for that. That seems way better. All right, gonna see the attack here. Nidalee will block. Okay. I mean, I don't think Walk Alone was expecting Baja to block there. This is now kind of awkward for him. He's just gonna be taking 6 to the dome for fun.
There used to be said now a 7 mana production synergy is gonna be played. 2 fearsome units are pretty good here.
Oh,
and of
we
course,
could see a Valley into 1-drop to give us 2 Nidalee progress.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're gonna see place your bets, draw 2 instead. Okay. All right, we have Cobra landmark combo now. We can go for landmark on turn 6, and then that way they have Aftershock 1. We can play the other one as well. Nidalee will probably not survive this combat. Yep.
Yeah, we have second one anyway. If we really want the player, we could also develop the action to start to get his landmark rolling. It's nice. It's a very nice unit to have on board. First though, for second Bakai, we get to predict out.
Yeah, I will say one awkward thing about Auction is he takes up 2 board space, which actually kind of hurts your combo a little bit.
Yeah, you want the action to die out later. Like, action is good. You get the landmark, you get the free draw. You want him to die.
Mm-hmm.
This though could get scary really quickly for Bajatak, because now, yeah, it's true that he can go with double landmark, but Heimerdinger is on the board.
Yeah. And I suspect that we're going to see something thrown at this bush right now.
I think DC could just pass here though.
Yeah, there's
doesn't
nothing
have to do
scary he has to
anything.
care about. Also, Baja drew all 3 of the landmark, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you know, say what you will about these players. They're really good at drawing 3 of one of their win cons. Like, you know, Broken Ball drew all 3 Rex that one game when he really didn't want to. Now we're drawing all 3 Valley of Imitations when we kind of don't want to draw all 3 of them.
Ooh, and actually goes for a formula.
No, I mean, this seems pretty solid here. I suspect we're going to see a slam of the Valley of Imitation right now. It'll get Aftershock, and then we play the second one. Also, finding the Hextech Handler in our hand is quite good. Actually, you know what? This is lethal. Oh, we're not even gonna play Valley of Imitation. Okay. Wow. But we're also not even flipping the bush either. I mean, Never Walk Alone. He just like goes Formula 6-drop Handler, and that's lethal next turn, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have to do anything. It's not on him to play. He knows he has the lethal ready to go. He just passes. I don't think he cares right now. This damage that comes in, it's never enough. You just block with a 1/1 turret. Now the 4/3 potentially. You just take.
Oh, I don't actually like killing the 2/1 because this gives them board space, so they want to go Valley of Imitation. My guess is they're gonna flip Nidalee, then play Valley, and then it's just gonna get Aftershocks. Honestly, I don't even know if you need to Aftershock it at this point.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we have a line for lethal, and I don't know if they can. Does Budget run any quicksand?
Attack does not run any quicksand. He does run 2 Palm and triple tag out. We don't see any of those cards in Baj's hand, and if he goes for the line of playing Cobra next turn, he completely taps himself out of it.
Yeah, this also matters though. If Bajatak goes for the landmark, now we have the mana to answer immediately, and then he can't play next turn the Cobra with the landmark activated. Also, we wouldn't have enough board spaces to get a lot of values of it, and so these
we don't have any value from it.
We have lethal. Never Walk Alone. Interior's lethal, of course. We have God Vision. We see everything. We see every single thing, and we know it would be absolutely lethal right now. But of course, being there.
I mean, if he just puts the second elusive turret into play, it's over. And I think it's very likely he plays a 6-cost spell here. Ooh, I don't know about Formula because he's burning one of these cards. Didn't matter in the end. Yeah, we just like play that. We don't even need to play Handler now. Yeah, we're just gonna go triple elusive. Now stop. Now like, yeah, because there's no quicksand in Baj's deck. It's like, okay, your way of beating this is Concussive Palm, Tag Out, and Unworthy Soul. You need to have 2 of those just to survive this turn. And if you have 2 of those, that means you're not doing your combo with a Valley. And even if you do your Valley combo with Valley, it's not good enough. And look at that, Walk Alone.
I can't believe it. I got the prediction right against everyone else. I got the prediction right just randomly in GZ Never Walk Alone in one of the biggest showing of dominance that I've ever seen in this competition, especially against such a top team, such an highly rated team as Breakables. He completely dismantles them, he destroys them, and they have no chance. They have no hope. They just got trolled.
Yeah, it's over for BBBSSS. We will not have a 2P on their side. EU, a 5-player EU team will not win, or a 4-player EU team will not win Aegis this season, unless I am wrong about the players of Aphrodite Esports Alpha, and they are actually just 4 EU people.
This one it is. I don't know about the others.
Yeah, you know, I will say congratulations to GZ Walk Alone. I'm a bit sad I don't get to see his teammates' decks. They had like Mono Renekton and Darius Nar and some other cool things, but you know, I guess we'll have to see them next week in the finals. Or maybe Walk Alone's gonna be like, nah guys, you don't even need to play. I'll just 3-0 this too.
It's like it's like space poggers kind of, team composition when one player in playoffs just carries everyone else. But yeah, I have been told that we are preparing, for a players interview. I hope with the players of the winning team. So I'm really excited for this. I don't know if we're gonna go into a break before. Okay, we are gonna go into a short break, and then we are gonna come with a players interview. See you soon, and yeah, prepare some questions, write some stuff that you want to ask to GZ Never Walk Alone, because this is gonna be a good interview. See you soon.
Every time I touch mic. Every time I touch mic.
Hello, everybody. We are back, and we have special guest GZ Never Walk Alone, fresh off his sweep of BBBSSS. Welcome.
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Not gonna lie. Like last 3 weeks of edges kinda worked for me. Like it's like it was only me playing, but it was like the whole team preparing for that win, and like it's like a teamwork, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, we have seen like your teammates at very different decks from what you brought. We refer to their decks as the spice that we didn't get to see. Why did you prefer some? You had a much more concrete or much more standard quote unquote lineup, and they had all the madness. Was this intentional? Just to start off with something very solid and strong?
Okay, so yeah, I need to bring something normal because we need somehow to win the games, right? My teammates can just play some interesting ideas, but there need to be somebody who can carry them. So like Tunnel Shark is cooking a lot with his lineups. I struggle to stop him. It's not an easy thing. So those lineups that you can see from his side, they are like not the craziest one.
Okay. Are you like as you of course know, and everyone knows here? This week was the big patch release, and also all the Eternal leaderboard being open and stuff. Did you take any inspiration from what was played in Eternal, like to adjust your decks or adjust your lineup as a team?
To be fair, not really. The thing is, like our opponents kind of surprised us with the action Nida released, with the Cobra nonsense. I like, and I think the deck was found in in the Eternal meta, and they just adjusted to the standard conditions. But yeah, I haven't played too much of the Eternal because we were preparing for a standard here.
Yeah, and that looks like that preparation paid off with this really nice lineup. So what made you decide on going with the lineup you brought this week?
Okay, the main idea was to be good into Fizz Samira because that was the deck that our beta team lost last week. Also, that was the deck that both like Salty Simon and also Baja, also Broken Ball, they are all of them. They were playing this deck a lot on the ladder. Also last week, Broken Ball I think went 3-0 with the Fizz Samira, so we were kind of sure that they're gonna bring it. So that was the main idea, to be prepared for this deck. And I also wanted I didn't want to like hard target this deck to be like pretty good into other matchups as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would say they did quite well in the Fizz Samira. I don't think I dropped a single game to that deck.
Yeah, apparently I had not too many. I think I just played once against that today because they decided to start with the Jinnora things. So yeah, I played more against that.
Okay, I'm gonna ask one thing to the broadcasting team. Do we know who won the other semifinals, or how is it going? Do we know anything about it? Okay, I got no answer.
I'm checking the sheet. It looks like it's 2-1 RPG right now, but still not complete. So it's still gonna be anyone's game there. Looks like.
Okay, so last minute prediction. Who do you think is gonna win the other semifinal? Judging just from the teams, even if you don't know anything about lineups and stuff.
To be fair, I respect both of those teams, but I think the hardest opponent is already behind us. That were the today matches. Like the only whole EU team, which is in my opinion always more scary than any NA team. Sorry guys.
I'm EU.
Is your team also all EU?
We have like 2 NA players, which is a small disadvantage, but
Okay, so you know what? At least we can say some NA players are winning the NA tourney. We take those here.
But like I feel like in the other match, in the other semi-final, there is also EU player playing for. I think.
I'm checking. Probably. I don't know if Renrug or Ninja Duelist are EU. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think there are EU players on the other semifinals, but we'll see. Anyway, what if you had to say anything? If you have to throw a gauntlet to your opponents next week, you have to challenge them. What would you say? Whoever would it be?
Wait, could you repeat the question?
Yeah. What do you want to say to your opponents next week? Like, it doesn't matter who they are. What do you say?
Good luck, have fun, guys. Next week.
Okay, so we got a wholesome gamer over here. Yep.
So
thank you for the interview, GZ Walk Alone, and we're going to go to a break where we will be back in a bit. With else?
And we're back, this time with Game 5 for the other series of the day, like Red Pop Gaming versus Breaking Battle. This is gonna be a banger. We are in Game 5, the last possible game. We witnessed a clean sweep by GZ Never Walk Alone, but this time around we are gonna have the higher stakes ever with Card Gamer versus Ranrog.
Yeah, we have the opposite situation here, where instead of the one player sweeping everyone else, it's now gone to, I believe it's 2-0 RPG, and then Renrag is trying to complete the reverse sweep here. So we have Renrag versus Card Gamer for Game 5, and I'm really excited to actually see a Game 5. It's like, this is it. This is winner. You win, you go into the finals, and you lose, then you're out. And yeah, it's gonna be really exciting to see what we're gonna get here. Here we're gonna start with Card Gamer's lineup. First, we have Heimer Jace, a deck we have already seen quite a bit today. This one has a few different cards. We're playing 2 Dawning Shadows, and we're not playing any of the Piercing Darkness. So we have no healing main deck. We're playing Triple Vengeance. All the other decks we saw were only playing 2. Got the Shock Blast, Hexbliterator, and Formula. And then we have like a bunch of the early removal options. We only have one Quietus Triple Soul Harvest, so we'll have to see how that's gonna line up. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, 2 production surges too. I think the variance is understandable. Like, everyone has different take on that. Everyone has tried, the same matchups and came up with different solutions. So I think definitely the spell split comes down to confidence and comfort. Yeah. So yeah, if Card Gamer has decided that this is the best suitable lineup for him, like, props to him. Let's see what he brought as a second deck.
Yeah, also importantly, no Forge Chief in this deck at all. So we're only playing 2 Adaptron for a 1-drop. We'll have to see how less 1-drops are going to matter. Next up, we have the Nidalee Bandle deck. And this one is a lot more all-in on the Valley. This is also pretty all-in on Valley Imitation, I would say.
Doesn't have the Cobra, though. This one plays by Big Time Tycoon and the Towering Pyrophant as the top end.
Yeah, but however, for our synergies with Valley, we're playing Chief Nakatok and Curious Changeling. So like, our Curious Changeling can transform when we play a unit. Our Valley will transform into it, and our Curious Changeling will transform into the unit Valley transformed into. And Chief Nakatok will give it +1/+1 an impact every time it transforms. So this is playing a much different game. It comes online a lot sooner than Cobra does. So like, as you saw, like, Body Attack was just dead on turn 7 every time. This one, I think, long enough for its combo.
If Valley of Imitation transforms, okay, it gets buffed by the Chief Nakatak. But if it transforms again, okay, does Nakatak gives another buff? Like, does the buff stack?
It should stack, because Valley of Imitation does say it retains granted buffs.
Okay.
So I would assume it would keep the stats from Nakatak. So get +1/+1, then +2/+2 the second time, and then 2 impact. And actually, I don't know if it would keep the impact. It should keep the stat buffs at least.
Well, let's see. That's gonna be an interesting interaction. As third deck was Karma, Seraphine, Set. So you have Seraphine Set, you have Karma Set. Okay. Scrap it. You add the Seraphine. Much more variance, generation, spell generation, and of course the Barkipali bar, Bakali bar, and so you have all the 1-drops that you want. How many spells do you play? What is this?
We're playing quite a few spells. We do have 1/2 of spell in our deck, which is 2 Formula. However, we don't have more spells than can fit on screen. We're actually fitting them all on screen for this time. Oh yeah, so like, the main reason you would play Seraphine over Karma in this list is because Karma's gotten nerfed a bit to 3 HP. Karma has to wait until turn 10 to come online. Karma coin interaction is no longer as favorable. Seraphine comes online a bit sooner, and so like, you're able to double up on stuff then, and like, Seraphine bar gives you a lot of value. You get to survive the early, you get to have more things to do in the early game to survive. So let's see how that plays out. But eyes do not deceive you. Renrag is also playing Seraphine Ionia, but however, he's opted for a little bit different approach. He's not playing Karma. He's got some different ratios for his spells. What those are, I couldn't be bothered to tell you, and he's playing different units. But You know,
Yeah, we don't check those. We don't check those. We see a bunch of units, a bunch of spells. We'll see in game. At this point, to be honest, when you play this many spells different, it's really up to chance what you draw. And of course, he also plays. They also play Jace Heimerdinger. This deck has shown itself to be super stable and one of the best decks for this tournament.
Renreg has some interesting techs here, though. He's playing triple Forge Sheaf, but no Adaptatron. He's not playing any Production Surge. He's playing 2 of the Piercing Darkness instead of the Dawning Shadow. So he's got a lot more healing than Card Gamer does in his list. Other than that, though, I'd say lists aren't that different after overall. But we'll have to see if those like minor changes, like not having access to the go wide turrets is going to matter. And finally, we have Fizz Samira, but we're playing, unlike the other versions we saw earlier that were the Powder Monkey versions, this one is the Fleet Admiral Shelley version. So we're relying on Shelley and Elusives to win the game instead of playing monkeys and hoping that's good enough.
What do you think? What do you think is the better version? Because of course we've seen the other version fail to win when it really mattered before.
I mean, we only saw Fizz Samira version once, and it just couldn't get over the finish line. I think their version was pretty good. And oh my god, we're already in the bans. Oh, we don't see the Italy deck. I am sad. Then Seraphine Bar is banned on Renreg's side, so we're not going to see that. So it's going to be Seraphine Bar and Jace Heimer on Card Gamer's side, and Jace Heimer and Fizz Samira on Renreg's side. Remember, Card Gamer did not opt to play the Piercing Darkness in his Jace Heimer list, so he is not on as much healing as he could be. We'll have to see if that comes back to bite him for the Fizz Samira matchup, as that one is known to be quite aggressive. Plus, he doesn't have any Forged Chiefs either, so he has less units to block with in the early game. Have to see how much that's going to matter if we see that matchup.
What would you start with if you are a Card Gamer?
I think you start with the Seraphine deck for sure, because I think that one, you have more tools to deal with both of these decks. Like, you have pretty decent removal with they have like pretty decent early removal, you have pretty decent higher end removal, you have a lot more value you can generate in your deck, and I think it's just the better deck to start with here. And Renreg, I would probably start with Fizz Samira. I think you're pretty good into both of these decks that you're seeing, especially like with Heimer Jace not having as much early game things to do. Like, Card Gamer's only playing 1 Quietus, he's only playing 2 Adaptatrons. He doesn't have a lot of 1 and 2 1 drops to play, so you can try to cheat out a win if he plays that.
Definitely. Let's see if we can get into the game soon. I think both of these players, especially Renrag, is definitely gonna be super tired after his reverse sweep. Like, especially when you have to play back to back to back. We have seen before GZ Never Walk Alone. Of course, it was in an interview with us. It was pretty tired. I think you could hear him being in the best shape ever.
Yeah, his back felt a little sore after carrying the team.
Yeah. And of course Renrag here even more so, because he not only did the same thing, okay, won 2 games in a row, but only had for the 2 games, the two world sets, had the stress to know that if he lost, his whole team would lose. So that's incredibly hard to do with so much pressure to boot, and now Card Gamer put in the same position. He's gonna have to focus and try to win the series for his team.
All right, and here we have Heimer Jace against Fizz Samira. So we see the Jace Heimerdinger. I would say this is not going to be favorable for Card Gamer here, especially with no early removal in his hand. I will say Renrag has a pretty slow hand, so that I think works in Card Gamer's favor. Especially if he can like kill this. I don't really think killing this 1/3 is what you want to be doing. I suspect we'll probably see a stylish shot here. Yeah, like might as well. Then we probably see do we see a Swindle come out here? Do you think he would fire it off season?
This early, I don't think I would immediately.
Yeah. Also, I mean, we're gonna see probably Epic Scrap Traption come down here. I mean, a 6/6 is pretty good at holding down the board. We do see the pirouette in hand, so it's like going to get stunned. Oh, he's gonna stun it now defensively rather than offensively.
And here we see the nerf, like 3 mana to do this. It means you will only have 1 mana back the next turn.
For example,
and it's gonna limit the option you have.
Yeah, like for example, you could have played Father Fury this turn and still had the mana banked. Now we're playing our 3/3 Butcher. We don't have any mana banked at all. Oh, we see the Shelly. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Father Fury comes in.
Oh, Father
now.
Fury comes down and gives us a dead card. But I mean, I think we just see the quietest here. Oh, no, we're gonna see a Hextech Handler here. That kind of stops the ground units.
And so the Father's Fury is gonna be the one to connect onto the Nexus, pushing 2 more damage. Card Gamer's HP is down to 14 right now.
However, there's an interesting line Card Gamer could go for here. He could play Adaptatron and then play 0 mana turret to give them Challenger. It looks like he's opting instead to bank mana for a 6-cost spell if he wants it. Oh, he's probably gonna play Jace with Challenger here. Yep, this will let you go after the. This will, well, for one, this will stop any Fizz shenanigans. Also means that you can't really play Fleet Admiral Shelly, because then Shelly just dies. I suspect we'll probably see a Quietus on this Father Fury. Nope, we're gonna see this. Adaptatron come in. Ooh, he could also take away both of the Brash blockers and push through a lot of damage here. But Renreg's opting to say, I don't want to get my mana burned. I'm going to draw 2 more cards next turn. And now here comes the Quietus. We could see the 0 mana... Oh, we could see 0 mana Challenger turret come in here. And then... Oh, but he's going to instead... so we're going to see the All-Out. Just to make it out of Quietus range.
No, which isn't gonna save...
I mean, I still think if you're a card gamer, you're just gonna play 0 mana turret now. Oh, he's not doing that though. Oh, why would you not take Challenger here and kill Father Fury off? I guess he's valuing saying, I want to get a 6 mana one off. I'd value that too much, but let's see how that pays off. Oh, I will say though, Jace at 1 HP probably isn't actually that much in danger. Although with his Bilgewater Telstones, that could actually be a way to kill it. Oh, we see the Burblefish come down here, as well as a Stylish Shot. That's triple elusive.
I think is it gonna be enough to win this turn? I don't think that there is any way that gives us little this turn. We don't have the mana for Shelly ever, and without Shelly,
But that
way.
parlay is very good though. It lets us threaten this Jace right now.
Right now, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we cannot play this Burblefish and have mana for Playful Trickster to rally as well from the Bilgewater Telstones. But I mean, I think Renreg is super happy with that. Parlay. Killing this Jace off is massive. And yeah, looks. Ooh, are we gonna see the 6 mana production search? We are not. We're gonna see another Stylish Shot come down, and then we're gonna see the Burblefish.
Let's see what's gonna end up here. Burblefish creates a pretty good card.
He can get the +3/+2 from that. That lets him. That is lethal if this is not elusive. And he knows that there's no way to stop this. He doesn't get elusive. He has lethal because he gets 2 Stylish Shots. And I don't think. Oh wait. Actually, Card Gamer has lethal on the Crackback though. Hilariously enough. If Card Gamer sees the line for Challenger turret, he has lethal. He should have lethal on the Crackback. Because the Challenger turret will also get Fearsome.
Oh, true, it would get Fearsome. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I guess Renrag's decision here is, does he want to put Card Gamer to 2 HP, get 2 Stylish Shots in hand and say, okay, you have to kill me on open? Or does he see the Fearsomes and say, I am dying to Fearsomes? So actually, no, Renrag is just dying right now to Card Gamer's open. We probably...
Yeah, he doesn't have any way to block the brush.
Yeah, he doesn't have any way to block Brash or Fearsome unless he holds on to this +3/+2. He's going for it. So that's gonna put Card Gamer to 2 HP. So if he, so this is hard to say. So I think now there's zero way he can ever block this brash unit.
Yeah, he sees the line, and there's no way unless he top deck something.
I think Card Gamer has this. It's looked very dicey, but I think he has. Oh wait, he's going for the challenges, even though it has fearsome. No, he realizes it has fearsome, so it doesn't matter. All right, so the 4/3 always gets blocked. So this is 18 damage. Yeah, there's no out here. I will say it's pretty tragic though. If he saved that +3/+2, he could use it right now and block the blast unit, and he would have lived. He looked at Card Gamer's hand to see if Card Gamer's gonna give him an out, and Card Gamer just says, "Nah, fam." Yeah, so you could block the brash unit here, he would live. So maybe it was actually correct to not go for it last turn, because then he would be able to win this turn essentially. But Renrag is gonna fall so close, but so far, and he's gonna fall. And Card Gamer has one game away from winning, and he has to win with Seraphine Karma set. And I think this deck is probably a little bit better against Fizz Samira if it can find the right card. And you know, in a deck full of one-ofs, it's not always guaranteed. Like, hey, you know, a Caustic Rift would have been really good against those elusives, but there's only one. You know, like
there's only one, but you have two formulas. You have two formulas. You can generate more draw. This is never, you know, especially when you talk about Barty Poly decks, nothing is ever said and done.
Yeah, you know what? This deck also has only one Seraphine, and you know what? There it is. We found Fizz.
That's a karma.
Yeah, that is a karma, and a karma and a set. And I honestly think you're not happy to see karma in your hand. I think you're okay with set, because set can at least kill something. You're definitely not okay with not the second one. I don't think you're really ever. I mean, I guess they have token on 6. Maybe you could say I could maybe stun them. Yeah, I mean, you're very happy about set to kill this Fizz, because this Fizz is not dying otherwise. In terms of healing,
Renra getting stylish shot means they have iterative damage that they are always gonna do.
Card Gamer has absolutely nothing to do here, so he's not too happy about that.
Not happy at all.
Yeah, probably just gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say probably just gonna see this come down. Hest of Spirit. That's another point of damage we could see. We might be seeing a place your bets right now, just so Card Gamer isn't burning all of his mana, and there it is. Tag out Wuju style. Not exactly the card you're looking to hit, I would say. I know is much better. I know is much better. Also, if they play Father Fury here, now you're able to play your. I would say you probably want to coin first before you play Clockling, so you have Tag Out and High Note available, but he's not going to opt to do that. We found Sump Fumes, which is castable this turn if we play coin. We could also go for 6 mana bar. 6 mana bar is also pretty cool, but we might want to keep things to survive. Also, Renrag, very huge. Renrag got a Guile in his hand that's massive because there's a Fizz in the opponent's hand, or there's a set in the opponent's hand. And this Butcher is also huge because this means we get to deploy our 1 mana card and kill Butcher and kill that and push damage here. Yep, gonna coin proactively so he guarantees that he has a way to rock things. We're gonna see this. Probably High Note killing the Father Fury if I had to guess.
Yeah, most likely. That's gonna be the play. I think Card Gamer needs to use his removal to at least mitigate the early game damage that's gonna come out from Renrag.
There is some healing in this deck. There's an Ionian Tellstones, which can get Ritual
Renewal.
Ritual Renewal, which is 4 HP. But outside of that card and the one Smooth Mixologist, there isn't that much healing in this deck, unless you can get something from Karma.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say. I mean, what do you mean? There's Karma. Karma is the biggest source of healing that can exist.
Yeah. And now Renreg gets to draw 2 more cards, so he's gonna have a fresh grip here. This Guile's going to be come up absolutely huge here, because now you get to Guile this set right now, so he can't even attack this Fizz, and you're only doing this for 1 mana. Then you can Warning Shot Swindle, because I mean I think you're burning both those cards, so it probably doesn't matter. We could also just like Warning Shot Swindle. Ooh. So it goes for the Pirouette here. Over Guile. I guess he values the mana next turn. Could be the thing. Sees tag out Palm and Hellstones. What do you think you would take here, Z0?
I could probably take the palm just because it helps me deal more damage. Like they already have low amount of units. If I palm, they don't have anything.
Do you take the bar? He took
No,
the palm. Yeah, also we didn't see the Warning Shot get cast, but it did get cast. My guess is he's taking Tellstones for not Aftershock, but draw. I think he's taking it for draw. We get Samira here. We are pushing a lot of damage here. They do not know about Set Spell. Set Spell here seems decent. That stuns 2.
Okay, the way you started to say that's like Set Spell here seems. I was about to say, oh, he's gonna say this looks amazing. This is game breaking. And no, then he said decent, and I was like, I mean, it's not.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks really good, and then I realized it's actually a palm in Renrag's hand. So if he plays Set Spell, he just palms Set, and then he gets to actually kill him right then on the crackback because there's only 2 mana up. Now playing this Forge Chief, at the very least, we're able to not die immediately. I mean, this is still really bad for us.
I mean, of course, Card Gamer knew, like, when you're playing this deck against Fitz Samira, you are gonna be on the back foot all the time.
Yep.
This is nice for them, just palming, getting rid of 1 unit on attack, and that guy is gonna take care of that.
Yeah, he can just Guile, stun the 3/2, and then he's like Stylish Shot and All Out, and I'm pretty sure he's dead. I mean, he doesn't even have to. He can just Stylish Shot All Out, and that's probably lethal. He's gonna stun the 2/1. Doesn't want Card Gamer to get the extra mana back,
Which makes sense, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't think Card Gamer would have lived long enough to use the extra mana anyways. Yeah, Card Gamer isn't exactly dead per se right now, but it's... Oh no, he actually is, because there's just gonna be a Stylish Shot, and yeah, it's just over. Yeah, All Out's just gonna end the game right now. Even if it didn't, there was a Stylish Shot in Flare as known cards in hand, and Card Gamer had no healing in hand, so yep, he was just dead regardless. So Renrag takes game 2, and now it's Jaceheimer versus Armaset Seraphine for the final game. Winner of this goes to the finals. Loser is out. Oh, look at that. 5 game series down to 5 set series. Set 5 down to game 3. It's pretty exciting.
It's the final game of the final series of the last possible everything. We had it all today. We had a one-man show, and we had almost, at least, the attempt to a reverse sweep by Renrag, taking it to a game 3 of the last possible set.
All right, and here we have Card Gamer has Hexbliterator. So Hexbliterator is a pretty decent answer to some of the things that could happen. This Forge Chief is going to be pretty good here. It's going to push the damage here. If there's not a removal spell, there isn't a removal spell. So that is huge because now Renrag can actually play a 6-cost spell next turn.
Yeah, and we all know how important it is to play 6+ spell.
Yep. All right, so Card Gamer has options here. He can Hex Split, he can Will, or he can deny this. And by Will, I mean Unworthy Soul. Which one would you go with?
We all know what it means. What do they go? I don't really like denying just because there is going to be much important things to deny later. But then again, and you're not even negating like the level up because of how it works right now. But it could alleviate some pressure. Anyway, tagging it out or Unworthy Souling, it seems much more efficient.
Personally, I think I would have gone with maybe it would have been denied because that way if they follow up with Jace next turn, you get to kill Jace. But I mean, this basically kills the unit. Then again, with Handler, it's now a 2/2. So that kind of hurts this line a little bit more because like that betting at 2/2 is like a 1-mana 2/2 is. I mean, hey, a 1-mana 2/2 used to see a lot of play in this game, so it's not terrible.
Yeah, C3.
Oh, we're gonna see the Aftershock come out here, kill the Handler. We're gonna take 4 here. I'm guessing we're seeing this Brash unit come out. Oh, we're not gonna see it come out. Renrag is instead valuing his mana, wants to hold up, so he has 7 mana available now. Oh, another Handler off the top.
Okay.
Now this Unworthy Soul line looks a lot worse. Like, sure, we got rid of the 6/6 for a turn, but now it's a lot more than that. Now it's a 3/3. Rocket Barrage is a decent draw. It kills Handler and the Forge Chief in 1 card. But like still, you're paying 5 mana for what they spent 3 or 4 mana for, and their Forge Chief got them 2 mana back, so not that great. Aftershock's also in hand, so if we ever find our bar, that's going away. Next turn is probably going to be a formula to start refilling. Maybe even Heimerdinger could come down. Oh, and Card Gamer is just gonna pass. Oh, yeah, gonna play that. All right, Card Gamer gets
value.
Yeah, Card Gamer gets a lot more value from this because now he gets to kill that. But like, yeah, this thing that we recalled earlier is now gonna force us to use another card if we want to kill it. Oh, and this Piercing Darkness is really good. Now we actually have a way to kill a champion.
Yeah, here Renrag decides to put down Jace. Of course, Jace is gonna be answered by potentially the X-Split immediately, just keeping him, not giving him the chance to level up ever. Or we could see the I-Note just to kill the 3/2 and damage the Jace anyway.
I think you're just murdering this Jace on site. Oh, you know what? Palm, stop it doing. Okay, so we go Palm here. But now we don't have a way to block this. So we'd have the High Note. We don't want to take any damage. We don't have a lot of healing, but we're gonna opt to save the High Note. I think maybe he wants to save Hex Splitter. He's like, all right, if I Hex Split, I can't answer a Heimerdinger, and Heimerdinger does just blow me out completely. But Card Gamer is not putting anything in play right now. Like, Renrag doesn't have to do much. All right, so we see the Heimer come out now. This will probably be where the Hex Split's going. Yeah, so Heimerdinger is going to be able to get a lot of value. But the problem is, there's a second Heimer in hand. Renrag can just go Heimer Formula next turn. And that just like actually puts lethal on the stack even if Heimer dies. Because the turret's gonna be an 8/3.
Yeah, this is...
And then we have an Aftershock as well to kill a blocker. It's like so doomed here for Card Gamer. He's like, Seraphine Formula might be able to save him, but
Yeah, that's his only option. You have to feel like
Seraphine is almost leveled. I think I saw 6 of 9 on that.
Oh, if it's 6 of 9, the last one. If you play the thingy, the last one would be doubled. So maybe.
Oh, high note would be doubled. That is true. So you have to see, because you do get the action here. I think you have to slam
The
Stuttering Song Spinner.
Yeah, I think you have to do
Because like
Song Spinner.
you are, I mean, you could block with Seraphine. You really would rather not block with Seraphine. We don't have to. We see Sunblast Vigor. Okay, Sunblast Vigor lets us block with Seraphine. She doesn't die. Poro Stories gives us blockers and has us a chance to get that. And then Inner Beast, I would think is probably the play there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, so I think you probably just play Poro Stories, hope you get Elusive Poro.
Yeah, I mean, it can't hurt, right? Like, you just play Poro Stories.
Although, if you do go for Elusive Poro, then you block yourself out of playing High Note this turn.
That's true.
Oh, but instead what you can do is you can do this. Now we can still play High Note. Put 2 damage, and then we can like... Oh, alright, well, this is going to be...
I know, we have Inner Soul.
Yeah, we have the Inner Beast, so Seraphine is not dying to this, which is good. And now Jace doesn't really have an attack either. However, Heimer will also level. Alright, so we're forced to play the High Note here. Gonna kill the Elusive, put 2 damage onto Jace. So the good news for Card Gamer is that Renreg can't really take this attack. I don't think you really want to be putting damage onto your units here. The bad news for Card Gamer is he doesn't have anything to follow up the Seraphine with, and those 3 Poros in hand are going to be eating up a lot of hand space. Although you could play a Poro into glimpsing it, but that also gets answered by High Note. But we know the Seraphine could die. Basically unkillable.
Yeah, let's see.
We see the Poro played, we see the Quietus to answer it. Look at this, he just played a 1 mana 4/4, dude.
This is insane. Any spell is now giving him so much value, and it's not even funny. I mean, it is funny probably, but not in the way that Card Gamer, not for Card Gamer.
Yeah, so I guess the real question here for Renrag is, does he want to try and kill Seraphine outright, or does he want to put damage onto Seraphine, or damage on the Nexus? And he's gonna choose damage on the Nexus. This should probably prompt the Glimpse Beyond onto the 1/1.
The other line would be to just play Karma and Pray.
Yep.
Yeah, I would have liked, quote unquote, like the play Karma and Pray, because you have also place your bet, and maybe if you can find, you know, Tailstones, you have enough mana, you have just enough mana to yield yourself 8.
Yeah, although, you know, the coin nerf would definitely hurt a lot there. All right, we're gonna tag out our Seraphine. This gives us 2 coins.
Here we go.
The crowd writes the songs. I just sing them. My most groundbreaking invention to date.
Time to give them a show. is to it. No holds. I saw you looking at me.
All right. You know, I looked away for a second and I thought it looked doom. And I come back and I see a leveled set in play that's about to wipe this board off the
Yeah,
face
exactly.
of the
I was about to say. I mean, Set is here, and Set can actually do something. Set is leveled up.
Oh, I
the
actually
point.
don't know if you're supposed to play the elusive turret here. Because, like, I honestly think Renrag misplayed by playing elusive turret here. Because I think if you don't play elusive turret, then they might be incentivized to not go forward with playing
The obelisk rate.
Yeah. What Renrag does not know right now is that if he were to take this attack, it would be lethal. But instead, he's going to opt to go after the set immediately. We're going to probably see a deny come out on this 6-mana spell, maybe. And then Seraphine gets a double invoke.
Double invoke is very scary, of course. I mean, taking for example the Golden Sister, and then you have also an elusive blocker built in. But of course, now creating another elusive attacker, this is not an easy position to be in for a card gamer. But with the stand swap, in theory, you can get rid of the 3 turrets that right now are on the board.
There's not. Stand swap is not doubled. It's 3 mana.
Oh, true. Actually, I thought it was a karma. Oh, sorry, it's 4 a.m. for me.
No worries, man.
I'm starting to feel the weight
I
of
guess
the game.
card gamer has to decide if he has the mana available to save this set, and he decides that he doesn't have enough mana that he can afford to save this set right now. Goes for Clockling, finds Aftershock and Sump Fumes. Okay, those are both good places to be. I would say you're probably taking Sump Fumes, so that way if they attack right now, you're not dead. Sump Fumes would be doubled by Seraphine, so that's also good. So then you have to find a way to survive off of this Behold.
Groundbreaking invention to date.
And there's quite a few ways to survive. Of course, he doesn't know about the Mystic Shot in hand. Oh, if he goes for this, he's actually kind of gonna die. Oh, you know what? I bet he's playing this thinking it's doubled, and now he's realizing it's not.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
This is not good for him. Now Equinox is his only out. Actually, no, he's just dead now completely because this Mystic Shot's gonna kill the only elusive blocker, and then there's nothing he can do. Yeah. There's also another fearsome unit as well. So yeah, unfortunately for card gamer, it's not gonna be.
Ragnar did the reverse sweep.
Yeah, Renrag completes the reverse sweep. And with that, Breaking Bandle will be going to the finals, and RPG is once again knocked out in semis.
And this is gonna be a banger of a finals, like Aphrodite Esports Alpha against Breaking Bandle. I don't think anyone had predicted this kind of final.
Yeah, I would say like people were predicting it would be BBBSSS versus RPG in the finals this time around, but looks like we're gonna have both expectations dashed here, as it's gonna be Breaking Bandle versus Aphrodite Esports instead. So congratulations to both of those teams. We will be seeing them next week in the finals.
And I'm kind of sorry for the underwhelming reaction, but I'm pretty tired. But this was insane.
Hey, I'll take care of the reaction
for me. Like, oh my god, we saw everything. We saw the reverse sweep, like the very last moment, the very last game for the access to the finals, and then we saw a solo man performance, 1-man army. GZ Never Walk Alone. This was a very good Legends of Runeterra night.
Yeah, this was really nice to watch. I saw some really high level play, and I think both players played it really well. And additionally, we will be having Renrag on for the interview, so he'll be joining us shortly. But we're gonna take a break first, so we will be right back with the interview with Breaking Bandle and See you there. We are back, and we have Renrag in tow off his latest sweep. So we've looked into it. It turns out this man has decided that losing in playoffs is just something he's not willing to do, as he has not dropped a single set yet in playoffs. Welcome, Renrag.
Thank you for having me. It's been quite a ride.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. First off, congratulations on getting the reverse sweep this week with your Fizzmere, Heimer, Jace, and Seraphine set lineup.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what led you to playing the lineup that you chose today?
Well, mostly just the idea of bring good decks that don't like hard lose to things. That's basically kind of been the lineup I've been on for the last couple weeks, and good decks, get things done even when they're a little unfavored. That's pretty much been what we've been doing.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it wound up working out for you guys this week. So you will be playing against Aphrodite Esports Alpha in the finals next week. Do you have anything you'd like to say to your opponents when you face off against them?
I think Aphrodite also has the same player who is like 3-0'd every week. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe Walk Alone has been on a heater as well.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Aphrodite hasn't dropped a game in playoffs.
Yeah,
not even 2-0'd every time.
Yeah, they 3-0'd every time. Yeah, you see, unlike you, they're deciding, you know what, we're just gonna keep putting the same player first, whereas you want to give the other guys a chance to play some games before you sweep.
Yep. Yeah. I'm more into the production value, right? So like I went last this week to make sure that you guys had something to stream at the end of it. No, but like in all seriousness, and like RPG's completely cracked. I had a couple godly top decks, to get through a couple of those games. And then my opponents just, didn't have the cards, and sometimes that's how it goes.
I mean, yeah. Yes, like that last game, you just like put out a ton of elusive turrets, and Cardimer just didn't have an answer for all of them, so you wound up getting the win that way. So.
Yeah, I mean, having going into that double handler and then having double Heimer, because on that set Karma deck or Sarah set deck, like they only have one card removal that kills my champs, right? So once they play the Hexbolt in the first one, then it's just kind of open season. They have to get set down, they have to put other actions, and so it was just able to kind of leverage that inability to kill my champs to just kind of continue to pump the value.
Yeah, for sure. And got a lot of value in the end. Even though the set did come down, it just wound up not being enough to stop the snowball. It's like you had a Jace and a Heimer in play, and just wasn't enough removal for all of them.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he drew the set late or like I'll have to review it to totally know.
Would you like a spoiler alert for that?
Sure.
He top decked the set the turn he played it.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard. One thing about LOR is that it's hard to keep track of like where the card's from in the hand, and like unless you're really looking closely. So yeah, I missed kind of where that came from in his hand.
Yeah. And
it can happen. We have seen it happen also in like seasonal finals and stuff. Counting cards is very difficult, especially when you think about spells that you can put on stack and then retract, and you can play with your hand a bit.
Yeah, and especially after playing 2 other best of 3s before that one.
Yeah, and just trying to like keep calm, don't make any mistakes, all that kind of stuff. Knowing you're in a game 5 with a trip to the finals on the line, so it's hard to keep everything in check for sure.
Yeah, but you guys got there in the end. You will be going to finals next week, competing for our grand prize. Anyone you want to shout out here while you have the chance?
Yeah, really just the teammates to play with. It's a great time. We have fun prepping. Lots of just hop in a Discord call. Lots of laughs. Good testing. So shout out to Squallywag, Ninja Duelist, and Lysergic Acid. As it's just a fun group to play with, and it's been fun to win with them as well.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to ask him, Zero?
No, it's fine. For me, it's fine. He did a very good job. Actually, we didn't follow his run through because we were watching the other semifinals, but I would have liked to see also like this reverse sweep, because this kind of storylines always hype me up a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, thank you for joining us, Renreg, and thank you everyone who watched our amazing set where we got to see a sweep and then we got to see the reverse sweep. So thank you everyone for watching us. We will be back next week with the grand finals between Aphrodite Esports Alpha and Breaking Bandle at the same time right here. We hope to see everyone there, and have a great night, everyone. Thank you for watching.
See ya.
Kiss, sweet like poison. You make me reckless. I'll run